tail, bite, and breath weapon, and then multi-attack.
Mm.
And you know how there's basically never technically any reason to not use anything other than a multi-attack because, you know, it's like claw, claw, bite, and you do all that in one turn?
Yeah.
In Jackals, everything has the, you know, you roll your D100, and depending on your roll, you use a different attack that is available to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so hang on. There's one enemy that I showed Brogan because I was telling him about it because I liked it so much. Okay, so there are Jackals, the animal.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a combat skill of 50. And so you have to roll beneath 50 in order to actually hit. And so if you roll a 31 or 50, you get Frenzied Snap, which is 2 attacks. And basically you do 2 regular bite attacks, and if you hit the same target with both of them, it knocks them prone.
Oh, okay.
Then if you roll an 11 to 30, which would, you know, be lower, you just get Snapping Bite, which is just 1 bite.
Gotcha.
Then if you roll a 1 to 10, you get Cowardly Nature. The jackal pulls away from the fight, snapping and howling, but not engaging. If the jackal rolls Cowardly Nature twice in a row, remove the jackal from the fight as it runs away.
Oh, that's cool. It has its own built-in like morale system.
Yeah, well, yeah, it has an actual morale system. That's just a skill that's available to jackals, the animal, because they're cowardly by nature.
Gotcha. That's cool.
I just really like how you have different attacks, but there's an actual reason why you choose each individual one. And you can't just be like multi-attack, because there's no reason to do otherwise.
Okay.
Because, you know, if the animal's in a fight for its life, you know, there's no reason why it wouldn't just do that.
Right, yeah. Okay. Well, we are live.
Yep. Nobody's here.
No, that's not true.
Hello, I am your second guest. It's ItsSneakyAdolf.
Second guest, wow. That's new.
Yeah, guest.
Second host.
It's good it's good to finally have you on the podcast. Aiden. You know, it's
well. So wait, why is he the guest? I've been out for 2 weeks. You think I'd be the guest? I get my first dose of science.
Oh, hey, nice,
yeah.
While I'm tweeting out that we're starting, hello out there. Welcome to TableTalk Discussion and Discourse. I, as always, am your host, Alejo, aka Great95.
I'm the second one who's not been here for the past 2 weeks. That's how you know I'm the second one, because
you're the what?
What?
You're the what? The second one? I think I'm the second one, sir.
Oh yeah, you are. I forgot about that. Yeah. Okay, you're the second one. Go. You go.
Well,
it's been a long time. I forgot.
I introduced myself as the second one before he introduced himself.
Before I even introduced the show.
You're the first second one. I'm the second one.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, that works. Yeah.
You go ahead, third one.
Okay, yeah, I'm the third one. Who? God damn it! You know, I was hoping I remembered correctly with the second one, because I was like, oh man, I'm the second host. I'm the second host because I was gone for 2 weeks, so that makes me the second one. But no,
right? No, two.
I'm the I'm the third one who's sometimes not here. Also, happy 420.
That's right. Dude. I forgot that's today.
Yep.
It's Hitler's birthday.
Hey! Oh no!
I thought it was different.
It actually is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because I knew it was April something. I didn't know it was
April. No.
April 20th.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god. Well,
secondly, Boo, how dare you doubt how dedicated I am to this podcast? I died for this podcast.
You did, and you returned, but not on the third day.
Yeah,
I clawed my way back from hell.
Yep, back from the warp. How was it? How was the warp?
Not great. Do not recommend.
Well, here's the question though. Who did you hang out with? Nurgle, Korn, Singe, or Slanesh?
Singe.
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 Okay. So it was always part of the plan.
It was always part of the plan. That's true.
Plans within plans, and the best part is I can't get confused in the Devils and Dice maps of mazes anymore.
Ah, that's true.
So just show you the full map.
Yeah, when I'm dealing with 5-dimensional mazes.
Yeah, which is just fucking a drop of seeing just massive throbbing intellect.
It's true. It's true.
Plus, it's oh wait, no, Nurgle is the horned rat, not Sinch. Never mind.
Oh no, actually, the horned rat is actually not Nurgle.
Yeah, he
is separate.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Yep. He's minor. He is a minor chaos god who tried to get up.
Some think that he is just another one, but just masquerading, basically. But
so who is Malal, by the way?
Malal is just another minor chaos god.
But like I've heard people say that he's the 5th god of the warp.
Well, he technically is, because he's the god of chaos itself.
He is an actual god of chaos.
Yeah, I believe that's what he is, but he is a minor one because he's just not as powerful for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe he is, and it's just, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know much about Malal, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't come up much.
It's fucking.
So
I feel heretical to my actual Skaven nature, but I don't actually remember the Great Horned Rat's plan, because his whole thing was that, like, oh man, I'm the Great Horned Rat, I'm super cool, and I'm gonna like supplant the other fucking chaos gods, and I almost did it if it weren't for the fucking Sigmar and his meddling dog or whatever.
This meddling Sigmarines.
Yeah. Fucking. So guess what I got?
Oh, what?
I got a fucking barbed Hyrule, my dudes.
Oh shit, really?
Sick,
Yeah.
sick.
Holy fuck.
I've got graham crackers.
Nice. I got a barbed Hyrule, and I got a Dimacaron. I'm not getting the Biotitan, because that's just too much.
That's like $300.
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, that's like $300 for a Biotitan.
No, it's 440.
440, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, the difference.
Yeah. I mean, it is a big difference.
It is actually a big difference. Well, hey, hi, Roid. Hey, Draco-Kraken. I don't know what you said, Draco-Kraken, but, I'm doing well, Roid Raider Rules. Thank you for asking. How are you guys doing? And how are you guys doing, my hosts?
I'm good, just tired. I was falling asleep earlier, but then I remembered,
right.
oh shit, I can't miss a third one. Because I'm the second host.
Mind if I...
Seems like Aiden's internet is dying.
Can't miss a third one.
Yeah, a little behind the times
Aiden.
there. He's a little behind the times.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Yeah. That's
There we go.
That's
real quick, Alejo, mind if I get the link to the broadcast, because I have people who may also join.
I got you.
Oh.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Doing well. Good to hear. So today, we're going to talk about yes and no. But before that, of course, we have comments. So let's move over to that really quick. We only have 2 comments, but they are slightly long, so pretty good. Here we go. So last week we talked about pacing, specifically from How to Be a Great GM guy, and
Deciding Town is as big as a termagant.
So Draco-Kraken says, Guy's 5-step method was secretly M. Night Shyamalan's writing method all along.
You mean Shamamalama?
Shamamanam. Yeah. The thing I find that I'm guilty of occasionally that will kill pacing is the superfluous skill check. Got a group trying to figure out a murder. Well, let's roll an investigation check and set the DC to 10 because it's obvious, and everyone got below a 10. Now, with no real reasonable outcome towards progression, they are without any clues. I find, that plot necessary checks with no useful fail state slow a game down more than what he has mentioned. Besides, movements towards any goal is still progression. which I would be inclined to agree. When you do just random skill checks for no reason, it is rather just nothing, right?
It depends on whether or not it's just for fun or not.
It's true. Well, that's why I
story
with his with his example, it's like, oh, I just made them roll it and it was a DC 10. It's like, well, then in that way, then you just look at their like passive perception or whatever, passive investigation, you know, or just think about it in general and go, which one of them is the most perceptive? Who should see this, right?
Yeah. So, go on, Boo.
Did they give me 2?
To what?
Or is this the... Did they give me fucking 2 barbed hybridules?
Wait, is it? Does it not?
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt the podcast, but this is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if any of you guys who are watching know, but the barbed hybridule is a Tyranid model in Warhammer 40k. It's available on ForgeWorld.something. I don't know if it's .eu or whatever, but the barbed hybridule is $165.
Mm-hmm.
And if they gave me 2, that's fucking...
I'm looking it up right now.
Oh, how much you want?
Oh.
Huh?
Good job.
Like, holy shit. I think they did.
Workshop.
No way. Okay, hold up.
Good job, games.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so hang on. So, yeah. This is what I have gotten. I don't know if this actually... I'm going to take a picture of it. Where the fuck is my phone?
I'm showing on stream right now the barbed hybridule.
Where the fuck is my phone? Where the fuck is my phone? Oh, there it is. I put stuff underneath it. Okay, so... And... Because, like... Okay. So hang on, I gotta organize this. I'm sorry, I really didn't mean to fucking
no, you're good.
With this. This is a big fucking deal, my dudes.
Yeah, it quite literally is just one model. If they actually sent you 2, that's fucked.
I'm gonna fucking keep it, but
I mean, yeah, absolutely fucking keep it if they did, but like that's some luck right there.
How people lose their shit when they fucking get 10 chicken nuggets instead of 8? So, okay. On the right-hand side is the body and all the stuff that you need to, like, assemble it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then
free
on
value,
the left,
yeah, dude, absolutely.
And then on the left is, where should I put this? In TableTalk, I guess?
Yeah, just put it here and I can bring it up.
And then on the left is a second body with the bag containing the other stuff.
So, wow, you do have 2 there.
I think I actually got 2 barbed hybridules for the price of 1.
Dude, fucking sick.
That is actually
because, like,
really,
at first
really
I
good.
thought, I saw the second bag and I'm like, wait, what the hell is this? I also got the Dimacaron, so I'm like, oh, okay, maybe they just shipped them both together. Nope.
Wow.
You said that.
What?
It's $160.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's 175 actually on the site.
okay.
It's no longer available too.
Oh no, it is available. The website has bugs that does that shit all the time.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. So yeah, I just got a $165 miniature for free.
Wow.
So
by the way, Boo.
Value.
By the way, Boo. Silence.
Mm-hmm.
God damn it.
Don't worry out there. Aiden's internet is dying. It's great.
Sorry, it's
No, it's fine.
That, the ping for me is at...
The ping is at...
I assume it's like 2,000 or whatever.
Yeah, it's at like 2,000, 3,000, or 999 or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's typing. Okay. All right.
Ah!
That'll work.
oh, there we go. Yes, I'm back. Boo, by the way, nice mouse pad. I have the same type of mouse pad.
Nice.
I like Steel Series products.
I love these. I love, like, the big mouse pads, because for a while I was like, oh man, I hate how tiny this mouse pad is because it keeps moving around and I keep rolling my mouse off of it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get a big fuck off one.
Yeah, I still have Aiden, you remember Zach
Yes.
I
was
still have
actually thinking about him yesterday.
I think about him occasionally, yeah. I still have the one that he gave me, the WoW one that's the Steel series. It's great.
We never forget our first loves.
Yeah, just while I'm sitting over here.
So so that's fucking cool.
Yeah,
you got
like,
that, though.
holy shit. I got a lot of fucking resin to wash. Great.
Yeah, have fun with that. Hey, Pizza Funk. Okay, so anyway, like we were saying.
Anyway.
So yes, unnecessary checks can slow down your game. Absolutely.
Yes.
I also reject the 3-act plan or the hero's journey are ultimately the way to solve pacing, as the point for many who play TTRPGs is to have the freedom of choice. Just recently in my group, they got introduced to the overarching world plot and had a player say in character, "Why are we dealing with this? We have a monster incursion we have a monster incursion to deal with," which is a valid stance to take. Have a story plan that does not magically solve a pacing problem. So obviously, oh hey Indigo. So obviously I agree, because D&D isn't a traditional story, right? It's not rigid. It's definitely one that is ever evolving in my mind. So I would think like the 3-act structure is good for a guideline, right? But you don't need it for like everything. Cool. So now we have our second comment from Lux Armok on last session as well. Go on.
So
every time.
Okay.
Well,
I'm gonna try to speak, but my internet's gonna die. But I personally don't like the policy of having progress in the campaign locked behind progress checks.
Oh, okay.
Like, I can understand writing different. So I can understand writing for, like, if it's DC 15, they'll get, like, a bit more of a straightforward. If it's DC 10, they'll get an answer that leaves a little more to the imagination.
Yep.
But, like, and while I've had good luck with that sort of writing, I guess. One of the problems is that it's just like a little bit more effort and a little bit more of a pain in the. I'm a lazy writer. It's less likely to have intelligence checks or something that actually straight up will halt progress if they're not met.
Yeah.
Because I don't like the idea of making an intelligence roll, and if the player hits the DC for that roll, going, well, I'm less in favor of gimme rolls, I guess. Just like if you hit the intelligence DC, then you just get freely given some information.
So effectively, it's like a passive intelligence check, kind of.
Yeah,
kind of like how you have the passive perception, that kind of thing.
So, like, you can tell fairly easily that, like, an animal was killed by, like, a wild animal.
Right.
But, I don't know. That's sort of one of the scenarios that no good answer for that, like, actually exists. And I think it's just about finding a balance for yourself and your table. But in general, I prefer not to.
Yeah,
totally.
Also, I should probably get the watch together.
Yes. So yeah, I agree, because there are certain things that you're going to know regardless of how well you do on your check, I think, for some things, because say somebody is a sailor and they come across like a shipwreck or something, and they try to figure out what happened, right? I think I think there's something to be said about, like, if they roll to try to figure it out and they get their investigation check and they get, like, maybe an 8, right? You give them exactly what they would know from being an experienced sailor, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the baseline what you give. Other people, they wouldn't get shit because they don't know about being a sailor. Maybe they know a little bit from, like, something else that might translate, but they wouldn't know the very baseline that the sailor would know. And then the sailor himself probably doesn't even need to roll, but if they did ask for it, then it's like, okay, you will still get this information, even though I'd already planned on you getting that information. But you might get more if you get a high enough roll, right?
Yeah, I like that, because that way, they're being rewarded for them having chosen that character path, while at the same time potentially gleaning more from it.
Exactly. I
And
think
also, if you're the sailor and you're doing that, you get the opportunity to do, oh, well, here's your problem, while it's fucking, shredded on coral and rocks and shit.
While like
found the issue.
While water is like breaching in through the hole, be like,
Yeah.
like, stick cigarette in mouth. Yeah, that'll put you back about so and so amount of dollars.
There's a fucking Whitest Kids You Know sketch where there's a ship sinking and the guy's like, yeah, we're fucking sinking. We're all in the same boat here. But guess what? If you don't fucking practice proper boiler maintenance, this isn't going to happen. But don't worry, I'm professional. I'll go fix it. It's really good.
Oh,
because he's being really condescending and sarcastic while they're all gonna die. It's great.
That's good. Whitest Kids You Know is a good.
They're really funny. I wish that they didn't break up. So
yeah, well. Anyway, so let's move on to the second comment from Lux Armok, also on last week. Not sure there's much I can say about this one, but we all know I'm going to try. Appreciate it.
This is our long comment, boy?
This is our long boy, yes.
Yeah!
Every D&D game doesn't have to be the same. If your group is collectively trying to create something that follows a particular story structure, that's fine, but every DM doesn't need to feel obligated to do that. Excuse me, goodness. I'm drinking a lot of Coke. A DM's basic job is to give the characters a world to live in, and to set up problems for them to solve. You're not a movie director, and the players aren't actors on a stage. They get to use their own thinky brains to decide what they're going to do with the scenario you present them. That is true.
Yes.
Letting the players set the pace of the game is perfectly legitimate. It's definitely better than interfering with them when they're doing what they want to do. Of course, you would need to intervene if they get hung up on some kind of conflict between party members that isn't resolving itself and is grinding progress to a halt, but I find it disingenuous to use that one specific circumstance as an argument against the entire broader idea of letting the players set the pace, which, yes, I agree, because in the video itself, that was one of the points that Guy made. He was like, yeah, you shouldn't let them pace themselves because this will happen.
I don't know. I'm a pretty big fan of telling people they're having fun wrong.
We all are.
Dude, that's the whole podcast. Yeah, don't you know?
It's the sole reason we exist.
Yeah.
BRB, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to like reset my internet or my router and like hope that solves some of my issues.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Give me some good luck.
Well, yeah.
By the way,
give him your energy in the chat, you know.
Yeah. Raise your hands.
Raise your hands up.
By the way, BRB, be right back. One be right back will suffice, Aiden.
Oh, come on. Anyway. What if they're not pursuing the plot hook because they're wrapped up in character interaction, or they've taken an interest in some kind of side activity? Or what if they know there's some kind of big battle ahead and they're taking their time preparing for it? None of those are things the DM should interfere with. The only thing you need to do there, if they're taking an especially long time about whatever they're doing within the world, is carry out your own timetable on how the world state will change without their intervention. I agree again. Yes. In fact, it's entirely legitimate to have an entire campaign that doesn't involve any earth-shattering conflict between heroes and villains, but just follows a group of PCs, living somewhere and finding their own stuff to do. Stardew Valley D&D, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why is everybody always gonna bring that up? And it makes me feel bad because that's what my campaigns are. I always feel really bad and awkward.
No,
like,
I mean,
that's my campaign.
No, it's totally fine. Again, it's just another thing, right?
Yeah, it's just another option.
Mm-hmm. Or on the reverse side of the coin, you could have an evil campaign where the PCs trying to claw their way into power, build up an evil organization, and take over the kingdom. They'd be acting as the villains in that one, and it would be totally appropriate to let them set the pace completely. Though they might eventually start having to deal with heroes trying to root them out and stop them. Which is what I did, basically, when I was doing my intrigue campaign, because they were all villains. Well, at least not good people. And they were trying to figure out what they wanted to do and how they were going to go about it. And I just gave them options, and they pursued what options they wanted to, you know? And made options that I didn't even think of, like starting their own tavern and shit.
Like how players do.
Like how players do, exactly, right? As a DM, you can make whatever kind of game you want, so feel free to take advantage. As long as your group is having fun, you're not doing it wrong. Hey!
Hey!
This all feels like common sense to me now that I've written it out, but since it's apparently in disagreement with Guy's video, I guess it still needs to be said. I know, right? That's the case every time. Woo!
So weird.
It's a strange thing. It's a strange thing.
Yeah. It's a strange thing.
But yeah, no, I super agree, because and just like you say, it seems like it's common sense. It's just,
apparently it's not.
It's just one of those things that I wish more people were just willing to say, hey, this is fine. Let's just do this. You know?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, hey.
Hey.
Hello. How's
Hello.
it going?
Going all right.
Good. You said be right back twice in a row.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you said
Apparently.
BRB, I'll be right back.
Boo found himself
Probably.
needing to comment on it.
Yes.
Um
Um.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
no.
what's gonna.
I'm hoping for is currently 2000.
Oh.
Okay.
420
Okay.
streaming tomorrow is my
It was
birthday.
like
Gonna get Monster
3300.
Hunter Rise. Hell yeah.
so-
Miscellaneous. Nice.
Do it. Insect Glaive for life.
Guy seems to have some bad takes lately. Dude, he frequently does. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. But he's, again, like I've said before, he's been better than he was.
Yes.
Because he is now going over, like, old stuff that he's made and, like, redoing
Yeah,
it, basically.
he's had
which
some
is
good videos.
Yeah, he has.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know. Feel like kill plot is an entertaining phrase. Yes, it is.
Yes.
It's very strange.
Yeah, no, like we've had people saying like, "Oh, I don't like the 3-step method of plot," and it's like, what about rejecting the 5-step method?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's. I feel like that's a no-brainer. Because it's literally he's telling you to kill the plot, and it's like, what? What does that mean?
Give me find new plot, kill plot.
Oh, it's so
die,
dumb.
why?
It's so dumb. I read that as kill pot. That's true. It's 420. It's
go kill some pot.
I'm gonna play every weapon the first time in the series. Yeah, dude, do it. It's a fun time.
Have fun with the charge blade.
Yeah, it's fucking hard.
Please tell me we have another Garabay video for today.
I didn't prepare one, but we could easily find one.
Yeah, I'm sure we could.
But yeah, happy birthday tomorrow then, Miscellaneous. Good for you. Good for you. Anyway, good for you. So yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Guard points.
Guard points.
For Charge Blade?
Charge blade? Yeah.
I don't know. So, we today are going to be talking about when you should say yes and when you should say no. Apparently, So, yeah, tomorrow's your birthday too. Well, hey, happy birthday!
Oh my God, my
Ronald.
birthday's tomorrow too. No,
My birthday was 2 weeks ago
yeah.
on that podcast. I didn't say anything.
My birthday's tomorrow. Make sure you donate my birthday
No.
present to me in the chat.
Yeah.
No, you lie. Nice. 421. Nice.
How many birthdays are in this fucking Jesus?
Your birthday was a week ago? Fucking say stuff then next time, Pete's Funk. Happy birthday. Late
Jesus.
birthday.
Everybody's
time the
parents
shield is
are
in front of
fucking in
you.
the fall. In the summer,
Every
I don't
time the shield is in front of you, you block and you can counter with an element blast. Oh, with
know. Oh
Charge Blade?
wow.
Oh,
Cool.
did not.
I'm still not going to use it, but hey, that's cool because I can't fucking figure Charge Blade out, dude.
That's fair. Yeah, Charge Blade is one of those things that I can't
Poor-
wrap my brain around.
Poor Boo fears big brain weapons.
Oh yeah. Because if I use the big brain weapon, the counter is small brain monsters.
Tomorrow is also Queen Elizabeth's birthday. Wow, amazing.
And today was also Hitler's birthday. That's right.
That's true. Oh my God, all the world
So many
leaders.
birthdays.
Yeah.
Everybody's born in the April. The April.
Anyway,
So
so
everybody's born in April.
in the April. No, don't
In the
forget.
April.
The April. Now that could refer to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, so I found while I was looking around, I found a video that led me to a channel that led me to this video.
Okay.
And this is from a channel called Blandco.
Okay. Like it?
He's slightly larger. He is saying Dungeons and Dragons say yes in 2021.
Slightly
Yes, we
larger as
mentioned
in-
today is definitely also Hitler's birthday.
So wait, slightly larger as in subscriber count or
Subscriber count. Yeah.
obese?
So,
Okay.
I
don't know, man.
God damn it.
No.
I don't know. It's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks and
can
you.
see him
Oh
in the
my God.
thumbnail.
Well, we just got
Actually,
a
it's I
donation.
can't because it's black.
We just got a donate. What?
Oh no, I can see him.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah,
can't see him.
hold on.
That's my bad.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
much
you're
was the
talking about you
donation
can't see
for?
him. Yeah. Hang on. I gotta log in. It was $10. I saw it. Just give me a
Okay.
second. I just realized that I didn't log into this. I thought he meant obese. God damn it.
Yeah, see? I'm
No.
not horrible.
I'm not trying to do that. Okay. So,
Or you're both horrible.
yeah, I was gonna say we never claimed to be good people.
That's true.
Okay, Draco Kraken
Yeah, that's-
donated $10 and said, "All hail everyone's birthdays." There you go.
Hey.
Thank you so much.
Hell yeah.
Rise should be getting the first title update soon. It'll be at the end of the month. Yeah,
Yep. I'm super hyped.
I'm excited. I need to actually finish like high rank 7 still. So
Yeah.
anyway, so
Anyway.
we're going to watch this video. So I watched like a few minutes of it. It's basically he starts off weird, then goes into his point, which I am interested to see what you guys have to think. I didn't listen to the whole thing,
Ooh.
but it seems interesting. Here we go.
I'm a bit intrigued by the title Say Yes in 2021 as if
Yep.
like I was going, oh, thank God it's still 2020 and I can still say no.
Yeah, like
Right.
That's weird.
This is not a video about saying yes to everything in D&D. Certainly,
Okay.
I say no to a lot of things, including unplay-tested homebrew. Specifically, I'm going to try to express why I believe that
Oh, I put up
DMs should
Mollymock,
be
but okay.
focusing on allowing the players a certain amount of autonomy, rather than focusing on trying to preserve the tone of the game. Matthew Colville is a person with a lot of experience with RPGs, but consider
Oh, right. Apparently this is a response video to one of Matthew's videos, but in the description and everything, there's no link to the original video, so I have no fucking idea what video this is a response to. It's really good. Really like that.
Yeah.
So actually,
Mhm.
I'm glad you paused when I did because I've had it on my mind for a while.
Okay.
But what's with the can of large white, like ripe olives, and what looks like a can opener on top of it?
Oh my god, you're
and
right.
then a can of crushed tomatoes. So close to D&D books.
Hey man,
And is that olive oil?
the guy really yeah, it looks like it. The guy
See,
really
here's the
likes
problem, though.
his olives. He
Why
needs to make a
is this
salad.
guy-
Well,
Why
here's the
is he
thing.
making an Italian dinner next to his D&D books?
Well, here's the question. Here's the real question you should be asking: is
Yeah.
where's the double boiler?
Huh.
Where is the double boiler? You're
Oh
right.
god.
Where is
Yeah,
it?
where's the double boiler? And hopefully he doesn't
The
have
dou-
one.
The double boiler that's referred to with the pronouns as she and has a cup of coffee cooking on it.
That's
Mm.
right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Why
weird.
would you call it that? Anyway, he's weighing
Oh,
down
yeah,
his mat.
she. It's like,
Oh,
what
you
the
know what?
fuck?
Oh!
That is a good point.
Yeah.
He could be
I see
weighing
it.
down
Wow.
his mat. That is fair.
If
Though why
only
then
there
put
were a big-
two?
If only there were a big pile of books next to him that like one could take half the books off of.
Yeah, it's definitely so. I think there is that is a good reason, though. I think he's also just got them there because he didn't think to put books in the other. I don't know, man. This is strange. Anyway,
Yeah,
I got the link to the Matt Colville vid if you want it. Yes, please. Actually, I would love to know what that is.
God damn it! I accidentally cut off a bit of sprue.
Oh, it's the
Or not
Colville
Sprue,
video
but-
about agency, right? I don't know. I have no idea. This was in he's working on being obese for Boo.
God damn it! Well, okay, see, he's already going down the wrong path.
Yeah, he's eating
Replace
olives
the
and
olives
ice.
and the tomatoes with fucking canned peaches and strawberry dip. There we go.
Okay. Oh, I see.
So-
Thank you. Okay, so the title of
So-
it is just No, running the game number 94. Okay.
Oh,
Interesting.
So
well, maybe
I
we'll
will
have to watch
say
that.
Yeah, we might have to.
I'm all for players in my games having a bit of agency to their characters. I've got someone in my someone in my campaign who is playing essentially a quarter orc. But
Oh.
stats wise, we just made it like indistinguishable from a half orc.
Sure. Yeah.
That way his backstory could still make sense, could still fit the setting, and like also have like the bonuses that he really liked. Because I'm fine with you having the bonuses. I don't care like about what bonuses you have. Like I'm going to know roughly how powerful the party is, and in general, I'm going to balance things for that.
Yep.
Like if you have like relentless endurance or something, I'm gonna go neat, and then I'm just gonna make a mental note of it. I don't really care what stat block you particularly use. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what kind of agency he's like talking about. Is he talking about
Right.
like can players like go here and do this, because like that should be a given
I was
in
gonna say,
D&D
yeah.
that you can go anywhere, you can do anything anyway.
Yeah.
The real question is, what the hell is the puppet for? It's for framing. It's to show that he's a nerd. Just like the books are, quite literally. So yeah, I don't remember. I think go on.
Me looking at my pile of D&D books and like going like, haha, yeah, wow, that's weird. It's to show he's a nerd. Ha ha ha. Who would do that?
Don't worry, you're not on camera. You're fine.
Yeah, no.
I am, yeah.
But yeah, I think he's gonna start off with going into like how I can't remember, but he starts going off into like how a lot of people are saying no, and then how people should say yes more often. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. He starts off with qualifying himself as an expert, so it's great.
Okay, good,
Ooh,
good.
fun.
Wait, Colville or this guy?
This guy.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So
Good.
And it's just one of those things
I
where I just roll my eyes and go, I don't care, but okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't get over that can opener on top of the olives. Like,
Is that even a can
No,
opener?
that's
I
a
can't even
that's a
tell what it
naga.
is.
That's not a.
Oh yeah, it is a snake.
It's a snake.
Oh.
It's a snake kind of figure. Don't worry. That's also to
Okay,
imply that he's a
okay.
nerd, just like the
Yes.
olives and the tomatoes.
So I thought it was like one of those can openers that like you can open it all the way and have the can open, and then you can
Yeah.
like jack the handle shut
Gotcha.
and like have the olives closed off. And I'm like, does he need fresh olives at all times? I'm so intrigued about this man.
My own experiences. I have interacted with DMs and players on Discord, Roll20 forums, D&D Beyond forums,
Thank you for
all
letting
sorts
me
of
know that
message
you are
boards, social media,
credible,
Twitter,
I guess.
Facebook, what have you, Instagram a little bit.
Cool.
And you know
Okay.
what? I do have a little bit of experience of what's going on right now, especially in the online D&D space. I've also dealt with a lot of real-life D&D situations, including running games in public libraries, comic book stores,
Same.
lots of board game stores.
Cool. You could just tell me you've DM'd a lot and I would take your word for it.
Exactly. You don't need
Yeah.
to tell me specifics. You really don't.
But I think focusing more on the D&D online environment right now and what I have experienced personally. Please bear in mind that as a creator and top D&D influencer,
Look at that. It's just like, fuck off. I don't care. Like, oh, good. Named best D&D YouTuber 2019. Great for 2019. I don't give a shit.
Yay.
It doesn't matter.
Who gives a shit?
How is that relevant to saying yes in 2021?
Exactly. He's trying to establish credibility. And again, I get wanting to do that, but you can just say I DM a lot.
Yeah,
And
no.
then that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a flex. It is a flex.
I get the reason he mentions the influencer thing is like a bit of comic relief. I get
Sure.
that. I do. It's just
Sure.
I find it so funny that he's named best D&D YouTuber 2019.
This video came out in
a time
2021.
at which a time at which I was allowed to say no, apparently, all I wanted. But then 2021 rolled around and I went, oh, well, I have to say yes now in my D&D. And then, like, attempted to, like, off myself in a car accident or something. I don't know. It's
It's just so good every time.
It's just not worth it when I can't tell people no in my D&D campaign.
What the hell was the point?
Oh, that's great. That's so good.
I don't play D&D. I don't play D&D for that.
I don't play
to say
D&D
no.
for fun. I play D&D for no.
Where am I as a DM supposed to get my feeling of power, if not from telling the players no?
Nowhere.
Oh, I love it.
Get it?
No. Yeah, no, I
Okay.
got you. Don't worry. If I remember the TLDR for Matt's video, is he had a player that wanted to play something totally opposite of elves in his world, and he had to say no. Matt even says he could have said no better too. Oh, okay.
Why?
So then why this response? Okay.
Yeah, why the no for that? That sounds cool.
Well, so this is the thing. I can understand if this was set up to be, hey, we're gonna be in a world. You're gonna we're gonna start off with like an elven campaign. Are you guys cool with that? And the guy's like,
that's fair,
I'd rather
that's fair.
not. I'd rather play something else. And he's like, well, but okay, but
that's the
I
campaign.
really kind of like have this built around the elf thing. So if you could,
Yeah.
that'd be great. And then they went no, and then he goes, well, no,
Well, then no.
right? Like
I
in
can
that case,
say no back.
this is the thing, right? I need more context, so maybe we'll watch the video afterwards for the full
Yeah.
context instead of the other video that I had prepared, which would be fine because it's another thing that works with the
Yeah.
topic.
Hell, I had a player write out his backstory in joining my campaign, and in his backstory, he was like, "Oh yeah, there's these giants and like
Oh.
these void giants essentially
Ooh.
that did shadow magic,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Yo, these are cool as hell." So like they're in my world now. They weren't before.
Yeah.
I
sure.
now know exactly like where they are and what governments they're a problem for.
Yeah,
Mm.
sure.
But like he's like, "Can I implement that?" And like he's like, "Isn't that going to be an issue for like that government now?" I'm like, "Yes, it is an issue for that government, but I'm looking forward to how you as a player deal with it."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there was something really interesting that happened to me when Aiden when we played the campaign in first edition. Remember that when you were Muscle Wizard?
The Muscle Wizard? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because you remember when Owen died and I brought in the cleric. My whole
Yes.
thing was that he was a cleric because he was a I forget who the goddess was, but he was a cleric of this goddess of like travel and luck.
Oh,
So like safe travels and stuff. And
Makina, something. Go on.
I don't remember. That's not the problem. The problem came around when I was like, oh man, I don't know what I want my weapon to be. Could it be like a mace or a sword or a club or something made from a meteor, like a fallen meteor or like meteoric iron? Because like, oh man, meteors are like travelers in the cosmos.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
oh shit.
Mm,
And I thought that was
super
really cool.
symbolic.
Huh? What'd you say?
Super symbolic. I like
Oh
it.
yeah. And I thought that was going to be really cool. And I was like, can my clerical weapon be made from like meteoric iron? Like maybe a meteor fell like a really long time ago, and that's part of how my like clerical order was founded. Like they found it was like the goddess showed up. It's like, oh, this is a traveler of the cosmos. Make your holy weapons from this big fucking space rock.
Mhm.
And then Brogan said no.
Mhm.
Because he was like, I don't want that to have happened in my world.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I thought that was really weird because it was just a rock falling from space. And it wasn't like a magic rock. It was literally just space iron.
I
And
don't see it as a problem one way or the
Let's-
other, you know.
Yeah, I'd like.
Did he have something he like replaced your weapon with that was similar?
No. Basically what we did was instead of meteoric iron, we made it out of Damascus because Damascus looks like a topographical map.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So we did that instead, but I was really confused by that, and I don't know why he said no to that.
Mhm.
Because it didn't, I guess I just didn't know enough about the world, but considering it was a sandbox world, I never really understood why that was an issue. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, well.
might be a question for Brogan. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't see that as being problematic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't a problem. It was just very strange. It was
Yeah,
just an actual scenario where I was like, can I do this? And then no.
Mhm.
But it was one of the scenarios where I didn't really understand the no. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
Like it
There's a
wasn't really
question
an
behind it, so-
obvious thing.
Yeah,
But
that's
anyway.
definitely something you should take up with him and see what's going on.
One of those scenarios where you ask the DM for permission, like as a formal not expenditure, just like a thing to do basically.
Yeah.
And then the DM says no, and you're not expecting him to say no at all, and you're like, what?
yeah, it's basically that.
Gotcha.
Because
Yeah, I
I
don't know.
didn't see it as anything that would ever really impact the world because it was just a rock.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, like it's just a formality at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully it should be.
So let me fix this. Just noticed something there. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. That sounds interesting. I would like to know the reason as well, actually.
Yeah, although it's been years, so he probably doesn't even remember.
Yeah. So
I remember the murder.
Oh, go on.
I remember the murder mystery that we stayed up till 6 a.m. figuring out.
Yeah, it was really good.
I remember hearing about that, and I was like, "Oh shit, that sounds awesome."
Yeah, because I figured out that at most whoever was like killing people was like doing so like with an accomplice.
Yep.
So I took up groups of 3 people randomly assigned. And the fun part was assigning one of the players to watch each of the 3 groups. So that like whoever was the murderer, like we would as a party still get to witness it and enjoy it.
Yep.
But I randomly assigned it and like we played till like 6 a.m. before we found them.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pizza Funk says, guys, my dad works at Microsoft, so I know what I'm talking about. It's the same energy. You're right. I never heard of this guy till today. He's no Seth Skorkowski. That is true.
Yeah, but he's played with a lot of DMs, and he was named the best D&D YouTuber in 2019.
By
No,
Dungeons
best-
and Dragons
Oh, yeah, yeah.
specifically, their blog. Ooh, the thing that
Yeah,
everybody
ooh.
reads.
Sounds like you're missing out, Indigo.
Sounds like the thing from the movie Darkness Rising. The DM was running a game in a world with only humans, and one of the players wanted to play an elf. Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Ugh.
I don't know. Anyway, let's
I'm
continue.
alright with them being a human with like the stat block of an elf, but anyway.
Yeah. Let's see what our flexing man says.
Aware that I can't get decent feedback from my audience. I don't think any creator can. So
No.
my view.
What the fuck?
No.
What the fuck
No.
are you talking
Hey,
about?
audience, can you give us decent feedback? Yes? Okay.
That's the thing, right? Like they do every time. They don't agree with us
we
every time.
legitimately
They
get good
sometimes
feedback
Like,
every fucking week.
fuck off with this. You can't
I-
have good feedback from your own audience. Fuck off.
We
Maybe
literally
they don't
read,
give you good feedback because you come off like kind of a dick.
we
sorry.
read comments on videos. We have a whole section at the beginning of every podcast.
Yeah.
All right, noted. I will never trust Pizza Funk again.
Yeah, he says no, he can't. Feedback. There you go.
Feedback.
Yep. It's
Thank
just
you, Draco.
yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like, oh, cool, can't fucking yeah. It's
It's impossible.
It's impossible, dude.
Christ.
Any creator.
Nope.
Wise.
We are creators, hence we are the bourgeoisie of ideas.
Exactly. And everyone always follows exactly what we say. They agree with us 100% of the time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
They're wrong.
don't put olive cans in your videos. Dude, you don't understand. It's a mark of quality.
It's his marketing strategy.
Mm.
Dude, you're not.
He
my
is giving
boss,
free
I'll go
marketing,
the
to be
store and
fair.
I'll buy-
Mm.
You're not my. Yeah, if you want to buy a scuffed can of olives.
It's just what I've always wanted.
Yeah. You
But,
need more olive
you're not
cans.
my
It works for him. That's true. He does have 12,000 while we are at 500. So, yeah.
You're not my boss, Ronald. How would you react, Ronald, if like we do our first video as Table Talk and I like frame myself in olives?
That would be so good.
I think I might hate that a little bit.
Oh, it would be so funny though.
Good, you better.
It would be super funny. The puppet doesn't make you seem like a better DM. No, it doesn't. It fucking
Yeah, it
doesn't.
really doesn't.
It's like, oh, cool. You
seem
have a really
fucking
shitty
weird.
looking puppet. Great.
Yeah, like that. See, here's the thing: if you want to have a plushie, at least make it a good plushie.
Yeah, you think, right?
Like,
Oh,
hell,
it may-
you know
it may
what?
have
I
been-
don't know if you guys knew they're making a Kezu plushie.
Are they actually? That's great.
Yeah,
Super good.
So the plushie may have been a gift. I'm like,
Good.
I don't know the backstory behind that plushie. I don't care.
Sure.
But what has struck me is that none of the books to his left that are like meant to imply that he's a D&D nerd are actually D&D books.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is a weird choice. Absolutely.
What
I
a what
don't
a
know what
bizarre
Candid-
flex, but
I can read.
That's the thing. It shows you're intelligent.
Whoop.
Maybe he uses the
Oh,
puppet in his
so-
games. Maybe.
so Garibay knows he's smart then because he can read.
Yes.
So tabletop
So
puppet
TableTalk.
when
What the fuck would we do?
it
Just
would.
a table?
I don't know how that would even work.
You know what it would be? It would be
Hmm.
you know those like little flippy things, like you fucking those like little rubber coins.
Oh yeah, the little
Yeah, those. Make them in the shape of a table. Now we can just flip them
Nah.
all the time.
Okay, that'd be cool.
See,
Oh, we should
no,
just
no,
get
no.
TableTalk coins. That'd be cool.
Yeah, oh my god, and yeah, and have the fucking have a table on both sides.
All right. Anyway, let's see what he says.
Pulled from interactions that I had online with mostly strangers, people who didn't know who I am, who didn't know what my content was, and I was mostly interacting as a player. So, while I don't think Colville's video is bad on its own, I do believe it will reinforce some of the trends that I have personally witnessed online. I have played in games from many exotic locales on the internet. And I will tell you that
Were they
I've
good
not really
games?
encountered many DMs who had a problem with saying no. In fact, quite a few
Alright, good.
DMs start saying no during the character creation process, and it never stops. Can I play a dwarf? No. Dwarves are rare in this setting, so no, you cannot play a dwarf.
Okay, so then that's a reason.
Yeah, that's
You've given a reason why they can't play a dwarf. Okay, please.
Oh no!
Continue.
Oh
giving
shit! I
me-
said it.
Yeah, it's just. Hold on, I'm getting a call. I will be right back.
Oh shit!
Sorry.
I'm not gonna lie. Even this unassembled fucking barbed hydro looks awesome because it looks like a big fuck off armored whale. It's awesome. Anyway, sorry.
So I find saying no to your players to be pretty okay.
Yeah.
I don't really find it too problematic. Like, hell, they talk about it in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
Yeah.
It
There's
is
nothing wrong with
okay
it.
to say no to your players. I would not really say, "Can I play a dwarf?" No. Because like that's a fairly innocuous question.
Yeah.
I understand that they can be rare in your setting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But like I have dwarves, I have orcs that are pushed to one side of the entire map of my setting. And that's because orcs were violent. They're warrior poets. And because they feel emotions super strongly. So like orcs rage in battle can keep them alive and keep them fighting after taking wounds that would kill a lesser man.
Or
But
lesser
because they feel their emotions so strongly, like I don't know, like orcish love, for instance, is like way stronger than normal. And because of that, like it's not unheard of for an orc to be a warrior poet.
Okay.
But because they're so violent, they're essentially pushed to the far south edge of the map.
Yeah.
But like if I were playing a campaign in the north and my players were like, "Hey, I want to be an orc," I'd be like, "All right, let's talk about this." So like here's why they're in the south. Why are you specifically in the north?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
I'd like challenge them to think about it, and like together we would reach a sort of mutually beneficial conclusion.
That is totally fair to do. And like for this example, if somebody just says no, I don't think that dwarves. I'm not going to allow dwarves because they're too rare. I don't think that's something you can choose. Then I'd go, okay. Right? Like, it's one of those things of, unless I really want to be that race, specifically for this game, if that's what matters to me, I guess, then I'd push back. But at the same time, it's also like, well, okay, if there's a reason for it, then I'm okay with it. Right?
Yeah, and at first, like, I started when I was reading the half orcs backstory. I was like, well, how committed are they to being a half orc? Like, how much does it matter?
Yeah.
And then I read through the entire backstory, and I saw it didn't really hugely matter. And I was like, I could just message them and be like, "How committed are you to the idea of being a half orc?" And I'm like, "No, I'll try to make this work."
Yeah, sure.
So I was like, does
perfectly
it
within your right.
does it hugely matter like which half the orc side is on? Because
Mm-hmm.
like if your father's gonna be a noble, like I can't imagine them allowing an orc to be a noble. But if he has maybe a scandalous marriage or something, I can see that.
Sure, yeah.
But like
so the orcs are and that's your campaign set in Elder Scrolls,
Ingridel.
correct?
No,
It's
this
the
is
Elder Scrolls one,
Ingridel.
right? Oh. Okay, never mind then. Because I thought it was the Elder Scrolls one.
No.
Okay. Yeah. So, don't tell me with the table flipper push, flush. It's always helpful when making characters in a new game if the GM has the setting rules ready, including the things like what races are allowed and not allowed. Yeah, absolutely. Like that's the thing. This is why this isn't a problem, right? Because again, this doesn't sound like this is at character creation, which I assume is session 0. It could be session 1, I guess, but usually that means it's session 0 because they're creating your characters and shit already. So at that point, it's like, okay, you know, they said no. Now I gotta be something else. If my player wants something rare and unusual for their character, I respond with, give me a story why you want to do this, and if I like it, they can do it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So
basically you copied Aiden. No.
It'd be nice if this was a thing that was a session that came before the first. Yes. That's why I assume this is what this is, right?
A session 0? How dare you like bring that idea here?
We don't
abide by the session 0 rules.
I typed it before Aiden, I swear.
Yeah, he did.
I have universally banned halflings because I have never had one not steal from the other players, but I also created an entire lore background for a person who wanted to play Kenku when I had none. Yeah, so if you don't want halflings in your game because you just don't like halflings and people have acted shitty with halflings, that's fine. I would say I promise you I won't steal as a halfling from my party member, and then I'd probably be okay. Like, that's the thing. I assume if somebody promises, like, actually tells you they don't intend to steal or anything with their halfling, you'd be fine with it. So, right?
What about Kender? Did you ban Kender?
Kender?
Aiden, Alejo doesn't know what Kender are.
I don't know what Kender are.
He doesn't know what Kender are.
What's a Kender?
Aiden.
So Kender were kind of like halflings that stole all the time because they didn't understand personal property.
Yeah.
Oh.
They were in Dragonlance. They were fucking great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Indigo says they're from Dragonlance. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, and they were banned all the time because people hated everyone who played Kender.
Gotcha.
And then they just got, like, they weren't in the game anymore. They were in it for, like, I think they're in it as, like, a module for, like, one thing and then never mentioned again.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
People tend to roleplay halflings as if they are Kender. Okay. See, I hadn't never thought, because I had never heard of Kender before, so I never have had that experience because I don't know anybody else who, except now I do, that knew about Kender. So there you go.
I do.
There you go. Yeah, both of
The
you.
Dragonlance books were my shit when I was younger.
There you go.
I never read them.
Hey.
How sad. They're great. They're great books.
I just know of them because I'm a D&D nerd.
There you go.
Well, since I learned about it in the books, not the game, that makes me smarter because I read the original.
That's right.
Yeah.
The original's always better.
Congratulations, you're smarter and you're superior to me. Here, collect your can of olives. That is your winnings.
Truly. That's it.
So, played with like 7 halflings and happened every time. Gotcha. You always check that Upak. I don't know that either. Okay.
Hoopak? What the fuck was the Hoopak? Fuck, I don't remember that.
Okay, well, there you go. Anyway, let's continue.
See, now here's the thing. If you have an issue with halfling stealing, never let anybody play a rat folk. Never. Because they will steal everything. That's what I'm going to do.
Can I do 5 for my stats? No, you can't do point buy for your stats. We're using a rolling stat method that I found online. No.
Okay, again,
Okay.
not an issue, but okay.
Yeah.
You can't negotiate with that NPC to figure out what's going on. That doesn't happen until later on in the script. I mean, campaign. No, you cannot.
So that time, yeah, that would be an issue because somebody is saying
go anywhere, can do anything in D&D.
Yeah.
Like, you want to talk to the NPC, go for it. Whether or not they're willing to give you, like, actual, like, actionable information, that remains to be seen. But you can, hell yeah, you can talk to that NPC.
Well, so now I understand what he's saying in this case is, like, somebody saying no just for the arbitrary reason that they don't want that to happen yet. Right, in which case that's just a bad DMing style. I agree that shouldn't be when you say no. Like, that's stupid. Yeah. Thank you. That's one extreme. All right.
Use that appropriate spell that's in the player's handbook because I think it's too overpowered. No, you.
Okay, so again,
we get the point. These are stupid reasons to say no.
Before, though, those weren't stupid reasons. That's the thing.
That's true.
Right? And then this one, we would then have to see what spell it is and why they would think that it's overpowered to such a degree. And then, like...
Either way, like, what is needed here is not a fix from us. The purpose of this section is to say why people might say, like, no.
Right, and again, but these are examples that are bad, though. Like, these are not reasons that, like, these are things that you should be against for saying no. Which I again go, no.
This is a man who has olives on his table. Are you gonna, like,
are you questioning him?
Yeah.
Look at the olives.
Look how scuffed that can is.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how, like, I'm just saying, like, I'm still gonna refute all his shit because, again, like, if this is gonna be in his video, he's opened it up, so I'm gonna refute it because it's just stupid.
He's also opened up his video to showing those fucking olives.
Yeah, and I refute those olives. Fuck those olives. Too. No, you can't have my olives.
Why does he have olives?
I don't know.
You can't have standard equipment. No.
Can't have standard equipment is fine.
An entire litany of no's. This is common. And yes, I understand in the book it says that the DM is the final arbiter of rules. What the DM says goes. Unfortunately, this is such a widespread thing that most of the games that I encountered online, they bore almost no resemblance to 5e, which is fine if you want to do that. But if you do fundamentally change every aspect of your game, then do not advertise it as 5e anymore.
Sure.
You have changed it to the point where it is no longer 5e. You can't say that you are running a 5e game looking for new players if you don't use anything from 5e anymore.
I would agree.
And yes, this is incredibly common now.
Yeah.
People even tag their games as Forgotten Realms games, and they don't take place in the Forgotten Realms. And it's...
Okay, well, in those cases, then yeah, they're not playing 5e anymore, they're just playing their own homebrew. Okay.
Yeah. Oh no.
Well, this is the thing, if you have issue with them doing that and advertising it as 5e specifically, then all you gotta do is go, okay, I guess I'm not playing this game, and make your video about, hey, don't advertise games that aren't 5e as 5e.
Yeah. Yeah,
this isn't about saying no. This is just you're not okay with it.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with saying yes and no.
Yeah.
So move on.
Hey, he was the best D&D YouTuber 2019. These examples are immaculate. That's true. It's okay to say no when it makes sense to maintain plausible consistency within the framework of the campaign setting. Exactly. Yeah. I would agree.
Yeah. Incredibly fortunate given how welcoming the vanilla rules are to new players. So this seemed bizarre to me because a couple of years ago, the big advice was to not be precious with your D&D game. Allow players and their PCs to directly impact the story. This was the overwhelming attitude in D&D just a couple of years ago.
It
the
still
attitude of yes, not just an attitude of yes and, but rather allowing players to make meaningful decisions in the game, which will have some sort of impact, even if that means discarding what you as the DM prepared.
Okay, so I said it is still the case, but then again, I actually don't know that. I shouldn't make that claim. I should say I have encountered more games where that is the case than I have not. So I don't know.
See, here's the thing. Back when... Okay. If you want to go down this road, here's a fairly, at least I believe, plausible reason why that happened. Back when you had D&D, AD&D, 3rd edition, and then a little bit in 4th edition, D&D was the nerd's hobby. It was the one played in basements and attics and in libraries, quietly and alone with your friends. And it wasn't popular. And so the people that played D&D over that time were a different type of people. And so you had more nerdly people, and the ones that did play back then were typically the ones that were able to run, typically, the ones were able to run sandboxy games. However, when 5th edition came out and became fucking super popular, and also with Crit Roll, story-based games started to come out more. You know what I mean? People who write the actual story as opposed to letting the players create the story. Again, that's happened. It's half and half now. You know what I mean? Like, there's plenty of both sides now.
Yes. Yeah.
But in the beginning, it was more of that. And so now that it's become more popular, more people who have more experience writing an actual story, or at least thinking of stories like that, when they see the players do something that might harm the story, they might feel the need to say no. So I think that that's the reason for that change.
It very well could be, actually.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good way to put it.
I think that's the reason for it, and it's not a bad change. It's just that the people who got into it more recently aren't as experienced with letting the players be able to directly impact their story and potentially fuck up their story. Because I can speak from experience where that's my type of storytelling.
I would say,
we had to dive in graveyards rolling them bones. Yeah, right?
I'm more of a fan.
Oh.
Aiden's trying to say stuff, but he keeps dying.
I will say I'm more of a fan of, like... I'm more of a fan of being able to, like, make an overarching story and then let the details sort of be handled by the players.
Yes.
And if the players a totally different direction and they want they want the arc to be resolved in a certain way, you can absolutely go for that, and I'll just, like, throw everything I have in the trash. I wrote a book for one player with the understanding of, if that player doesn't care about the book, like, they can absolutely throw that in the trash and I not care. I did it for my world. But typically what I prefer to do is, when making an arc, I think of, like, 4 to 9 days it can be resolved depending upon, like, alignments and stuff, and which resolution I find more likely, based on what, and, like, how the characters have acted thus far in the campaign, and I'll do a little bit more prep for those that I find more likely, but I won't bother with fleshing out any one ending complete, because when you pick options 1 through 4, they're gonna pick option 47.
Yes.
So, like, if they choose to, like, defend befriend the big bad evil guy, like, okay, I can get stuff written for that and have it ready. I can I will always like make sure that at worst I have a little star in my notebook of like you need to and like that's how it is in the Elder Scrolls campaign. That's how it's going to be in a few the Ingerdell campaign.
Mhm.
Prefer to DM is like let the players take action.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Let them choose how something. And I have like stuff more or less for how I'm going to like resolve it.
Mhm.
But like it's really ultimately up to the players.
Yes. Okay.
Aiden, I
Man.
think you should definitely watch this podcast again when you when it's uploaded, because that was a very good point. You should definitely relive how good that point was. And how
Like
much
I
we were able
understood
to
it, but
understand it.
man, it was hard.
Yeah, right.
I
Yes, I do agree.
I
with
agree
what I
also,
heard.
yes. It's just man.
Dude,
That's an experience.
I was literally sitting here waiting for you
Mm-hmm.
guys to respond, and I'm just seeing you go, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Because we're waiting for your full point to finish. That's the problem.
Because we're like, it's so laggy.
Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Oh man.
Let's see. Okay.
Aiden, when are you gonna get new internet?
So
we only have one internet service provider in our area.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
And we called them, and it's basically we got to
Man, I don't know.
ourselves.
Yeah, so yeah, I remember the days where we had to hide in graveyards rolling them bones or roleplay our necromancers and try to take over the world, and oh shit, I wasn't supposed to say that. That's true. It's a really good point. If you're going to say yes, it needs to be yes and or yes, but that's what furthers a game, not yes, even if it creates massive plot problems. Yeah. I would say a yes and or a yes but is definitely a better way than just going straight up just yes. Because sometimes, yeah, like you said, a yes can just destroy certain things if you don't think about it. Excuse me. So think.
Use your brain.
Use brain.
Put points in brain.
That was circa 2008. I assume when people were more sandboxy is what you mean.
Yeah.
Back then, if you were a D&D 4e player, you had to hide in basements from the other D&D fans that flocked to Pathfinder. That's true. Great example was the whole extra credits. Maybe that the slimes that ate your family are the good guys. Sure, you can think that, but the slimes will still eat you if it can. That's true. Fucking extra credits doesn't know what they're talking about. It's great.
Yeah. I'm glad we haven't had to talk about them ever.
Yeah, I'm glad
that
might not
we
ever have to
never
talk about
will.
them again.
Wait, have we talked about them before?
Yeah, we did. We talked about we covered, it was a different video. It was actually the Call of Cthulhu. Actually, we used it in one of the Call of Cthulhu ones. You were there.
Oh,
pretty sure.
Yeah, I must have blocked it out of my memory. It must have been alongside Fate of Cthulhu because they have.
No, it was just talking about how. Well, it was talking about how they don't do Cthulhu right in games, which was.
Right. They don't do Cthulhu right in video games. That was it.
Yeah. Which also kind of applied to the tabletop a bit because it used examples from it and such. But yeah. Extra credits died that video. Yeah. Well, they're still going strong with their stupid shit. Anyway,
it's a shame.
So, let's see.
But that seems to have changed. War has changed. I can understand why DMs are flocking towards the philosophy of no. Players and player choice can be really annoying, especially with new players. In fact, I believe most players will end up doing heinous stuff in the game, such as goofy behavior and doing crimes in a fantasy world. Stop right there, criminal scum. In my opinion...
Let's just insert reference after reference. Also, heinous acts are doing goofy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And crimes. Yeah. It's like, oh, so they have the freedom to decide who their characters are, so that's bad.
Yeah, that's heinous.
That's not good.
Heinous.
Let's not allow that to happen.
Yeah, no, we can't have that. We can't have
we can't have any nuance. Guys, we have to have good and bad. We can only have black and white. There is no gray.
Guys, you know what we need?
Huh.
We need in order to keep these players in check, because they're running rampant all over our cherished game.
Everywhere. Yes.
They are why did you join my beloved core? No. You know what we need? And I'm going to give you a hint.
Okay.
It's 3 words.
Okay.
Can you guess it?
No, I actually can't.
It's one of our memes.
Oh fuck. Oh no.
3 words. And don't worry, I won't make
cut off hands.
Close. That's another 3-word one. But in order to stamp out this fucking rash of players doing whatever the fuck they want, boys, we need an illusion of choice. We need an illusion of choice to make them feel as though large ripe olives. Fuck off. Yeah. Get out of here with that.
Large ripe olives. Yes. That's what we need. That's what I crave.
We need an illusion of choice to make them feel as though they have the choice without actually giving
Of course. Of course.
Now, that's impossible to achieve in Pathfinder, but in Dungeons & Dragons, it might be doable.
Right.
Gentlemen.
Damn, I was wrong. Players having fun, how dare they? I know, right?
Yeah,
it's
right?
just a
Role
bad
playing?
thing.
What?
We gotta stop fun. Man, I hate fun. We've gotta stamp out fun forever. There's no place for fun in my games.
Dude,
thanks for staying quiet for that so they could clip it out of context.
Yeah.
Ugh, God.
And then our waggy boy.
You're having wrong. Wrong. Stop it.
Sorry, Aiden. I don't know what you're replying to.
Hey, he's typing good.
He's typing now. Okay.
I like typing.
Typing is good. You're having fun wrong. Stop it. Gotcha.
Yes,
okay.
There we go.
That's true.
I understood that.
Sorry, man. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Anyway. Okay.
You just have to provide some structure and maybe some minor consequences at this stage. And allow players to slowly ease their way into the game. Eventually, most players will start to take the game more seriously. Matthew Colville has a different philosophy in this matter. Years ago, he uploaded a story to show the players the result of their interactions with some NPCs. He wrote an entire narrative cudgel, making damn sure the players understood what the fucking tone of his game was. And a cudgel, no matter how skillfully crafted, is still but a club meant for a blunt force solution to a problem.
That's a lot.
I bring this up because he claims in his most recent video that he doesn't understand how to force a player to abide by his way.
Yeah.
Between you and me, Matt, yes, you do.
Now, this is my nonsense, and I do not expect my players to strictly abide by it. But while I don't try to force my players to play elves my way, I don't even know how I would do that.
Yes, you do. Because that's all they value. All that matters to them. We don't matter. Law don't matter. Wonderfully.
What the fuck what are you talking about? Okay.
Yeah, what are we on about here?
So, okay, I'm trying to follow. Okay, so I agree. I agree to an extent with, oh God,
Yeah.
Okay, I need to bring it back because I my brain did not like process any of that shit.
Yeah.
Narrative cudgel. What dice of damage does that do? It's a d6.
Does not, dude. A narrative cudgel does a billion.
Oh, that's true.
Because
at the moment,
narrative, the fucking narrative cudgel is the classic rocks fall, everybody dies.
that's true.
That's a narrative cudgel.
That is true. Suddenly just turned into a Western ASMR. That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, at the moment, Aiden's having 5,000 ping. It's fucked.
Yes.
I'm
I'm sure.
totally lost video. Oh, fun.
I
Hey!
totally was saying it was the Western. God. So I literally said, guys, I've totally lost this video. When this becomes Western where law don't matter, and
Soon as
when
it's
did you
said that.
implement a narrative cudgel?
Oh, okay, gotcha. Wow. I think you covered Matt as well, the guy this video is responding to. We have covered Matt Koval before, yeah. I don't know if we covered
Yeah.
that specific video. I don't
No,
think so,
we did not.
but yeah, I need to back it up because I need to pause occasionally. So Aiden, if you're totally, yeah, I have no idea where we are either. I don't know what's going on anymore. Okay, let's see. So I think it was like back here.
Players will end up doing heinous stuff in the game, such as goofy behavior and doing crimes in a fantasy world.
Right.
Oh no.
Stop right there, criminal scum. In my
Reference.
opinion, you just have to provide some structure and maybe some minor consequences at this stage. And allow players to slowly ease their way into the game. Eventually,
Okay, so I agree that if this is a problem, that you should have consequences to show that it is a problem.
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, that should be like fucking bare minimum for like an RPG town.
I
You
think-
fucking
yeah, I
attack
think
somebody,
that's
the guards
just-
are gonna come kick your ass.
Exactly. I think that's just basic shit that we don't even need to worry about. And also
Yeah.
he shows this comic, which I've seen before. I don't know who does it. I don't know the attribution is in the corner, but yeah, I have seen this comic of like, yeah, you have the goofy Slappy, the goofy clown character that then becomes a valued member of the party who sacrifices himself at the end in session 40. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it works. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Good job. You've demonstrated the point that you said that wacky stuff can go to like actual things. Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
most players will start to take the game more seriously.
It's true.
Matthew Koval has a different philosophy in this matter. Years ago, he uploaded a story to show the players the result of their interactions with some NPCs. He wrote an entire narrative cudgel, making damn sure the players understood what the fucking tone of his game was. And a cudgel, no matter how skillfully crafted, is still but a club meant for a blunt.
I would really appreciate you to reference this section. I would really appreciate if you showed, because you do it later. You reference the section later so that you can respond to it. Please reference the section that you are responding to right now because I need to know exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're just telling me things and you have no substance other than what you're saying, and I
Yeah,
don't
like, I've
know
got
whether or
nothing to-
not I should trust what you say.
Yeah.
Force to a problem. I bring this up because he claims in his most recent video that he doesn't understand how to force a player to abide by his way. Between you and me, Matt, yes, you do.
Now, this is my nonsense, and I do not expect my players to strictly abide by it. But while I don't try to force my players to play elves my way, I don't even know how I would do that.
Yes, you do.
Because
You know-
that's all they value. All that matters.
Okay, so I don't care about this sample sentence from story. It's fucking whatever.
Yeah.
So,
So basically,
right
what
now,
you're saying is that it's something that he said years ago. You know, you can't change. People can't change.
well, so this is the other thing. He says that he says this thing, and then he says, "Yes, you do," because I'm going to show you why. And then he shows us the quote,
Shit.
and the quote doesn't show me why. The quote is just him saying that he doesn't yet. So I assume next he's now going to show a clip where he contradicts himself so that he proves his point. Because otherwise, you're just saying things again.
Yeah.
So please.
Matters to 'em. We don't matter. Law don't matter.
Wonderfully written. And perfectly clear what the results of this little formula are. Players know act right in game. Plus, story make feel bad in emotion. Equals, players act right and proper from then on.
Okay, so that sentence was supposed to show the hypocrisy. Okay, wait. So then what was the sentence proper? Because I need to know exactly how that... Okay, here we go.
How it applies.
What?
So the sentence that he's about to read out is apparently the contradiction. So here we go.
Because that's all they value. All that matters to them. We don't matter. Law don't matter.
Wonderful.
Because that's what Okay, sorry. It like jumped for me in the middle. I need fucking full thing.
I would do that.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Yes, you do.
Because that's all they value. All that matters to them. We don't matter. Law don't matter.
So because that's what values to them, we don't matter. What the law don't matter. Okay, so
I don't even understand the context of the fucking thing.
Yeah,
The actual sentence. Who is speaking? Who is it? A Western elf?
So is this the context of this is part of the thing that he wrote to tell them how the set, like, the game is going to be. So
yeah.
If that's the case, if that's the window dressing that we have, that is a single sentence. First off, so the PCs aren't going to care about the law, and they're not going to care about each other, I guess.
Or the person speaking.
Or the person speaking, or anyone, really. Okay. So then that means they're mercenaries that don't give a shit and they just do the jobs. As far as I can... That's what my interpretation. Again, that's just my interpretation from this one clip.
Yeah.
This one sentence.
To go off of.
Yes, that's all that we have, and now you're going to tell me what that sentence means. I'm excited to now understand what that sentence means to you, please. Hold on. Wacky antics TM, if we must, yes. Again, if I remember correctly, this Matt clip is talking about a session 0. So then, okay, so then he established in the session 0 that this is the tone of the setting, which... Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh no, you're telling your players that this is how the tone is going to be? Hey guys, when we play Call of Cthulhu, the tone is going to be a lot more serious than the Devils and Dice campaign.
Oh my god.
I guess that means I'm a bad DM,
right?
And I'm forcing you to play my way.
This is kind of like going through FNAF lore, going back to different clips and references to try to piece together what the fuck he's trying to say. That's true.
Yeah.
Because he's not making it easy for us.
Damn,
sorry, Aiden, you were gonna say something.
Hold on.
He typing it.
Yep. The tippity tappy.
Tip tap tip tap.
God, they made this resin so fucking thick.
That's what they do. I guess I'm a bad DM. Well, we knew that, boo.
Rip.
Gotcha.
Ow.
Doing the meme. Doing the meme. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
You guys should give Aiden text to speech. That way you can snap Stephen Hawking.
Yeah.
Oh God, no.
He's not Stephen Hawking. He'll be a Warforged.
That's true. Also, that Western light is not something Matt said in that video. It was not a Western setting. Oh. So then what is it from, then? Oh, so you mean he has sullied his integrity by using something that isn't even from Coville's video that he's responding to directly? Oh,
and by the way, that video that he is responding to was years ago.
And then he says, again, that he's talking about something now that he said in his most recent video, which I assume that clip is from. Because it's longer hair, and the Coville in the other video doesn't have that long hair.
Yay!
So he's responding to 2 different videos, I guess?
Yeah.
Man, now I don't trust you at all, sir.
Let's be honest. He's got olives on the table. You can't trust a man with olives. It's like that fucking Will Ferrell movie. You can't trust a man in a tunic.
It's just,
and then it turns out that you really can't, and he was the bad guy all along. And it was the tunic of evilness or something they put on him, and it's like it just jail uniform or something.
FNAF lore, man, dude. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's just
Scott Cawthon, the greatest writer of our generation.
Perfectly clear what the results of this little formula are. Players know act right in game. Plus, story make feel bad in emotion. Equals, players act right and proper from then on. Matthew does indeed know how to force players to play his way to protect the tone of his game. Emotional manipulation.
wow.
By any other name, it would still be DM bullshit.
Wow, what a serious accusation, huh?
Hey,
Apparently, he's emotionally manipulating his players.
Hey, Aiden. I would ask Aiden as well, but let's be honest, he's dying 1,000 deaths of slow internet. But hey, Alejo.
Yeah.
Did you feel anything at all?
See, this is a well-measured response, says Aiden. Yes. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yes, please ask the question.
When I had you guys talking to Mexnir,
yeah,
and he talked about his old friends,
yeah,
and he started legitimately fucking tearing up in front of you,
yeah,
did you feel as though I was manipulating you? Because turns out I was!
Right? Apparently you were.
Emotion equals fucking manipulation.
Apparently setting a tone and setting a scene and actually making it so that your players maybe are playing in that scene, and like being immersed enough to actually care. Apparently that's emotional manipulation now.
Yeah, that's and I fucking wonder what he thinks about movies, man.
Oh, dude. Apparently, you know how we sometimes I complain about score in movies, how it it's telling you how you're supposed to feel. Now, there are times where I don't feel that way because it just fits it so well that I don't notice it. But in some cases, sometimes it is technically trying to manipulate your emotions into feeling a certain way. Though that's usually a soulless board who has decided, hey, edit it this way so that people feel sad.
It's sitcom music, basically.
It's the laugh track. It's the laugh track more so.
Oh, also sad sitcom music. True.
There's also that. But like, our characters can have stakes equals emotional manipulation, says Aiden. Yeah, yes, it's a nuclear take because fucking what?
Yeah, like Jesus.
I can't have it be so that anybody in this fucking world who plays a game with me, if I ever make them feel a certain way just due to my writing or how I've played out a scene, if they ever feel anything, I have emotionally manipulated them.
Yep.
I felt sad, so I must have been gaslit. Exactly. Yes, you were. That's the only way.
So, Alejo, this was the resin that I just spent fucking 10 minutes cutting through.
Oh, jeez.
You can see it compared to the place where the arm on the left slots onto the model.
Yeah.
And you can see it compared to my finger.
Oh, holy fuck.
That is a lot of fucking resin to cut through.
Yeah, give me a sec. I want to show that.
Yep. And basically, that's just the resin that, basically that big square triangular bit there.
Yeah.
That the cylinder is connected to. That's just where they pour the resin in so that it fills the mold properly.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, and so that's always left over. You got to cut those off. It's essentially the same as cutting the shit off of sprues. Except
Jesus.
resin.
Yeah. No, that's fucked.
Yeah. And I don't have a hobby saw. I had to use my little Citadel sprue cutters to get through it.
Christ.
Yeah, I kind of regret not having a hobby saw now, but oh well.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
These are the only fucking Forge World models that I'm gonna get because there's no good, Morty. There's no good Age of Sigmar Forge World models that aren't like the big fucking giant things.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And those are like $500, so fuck it.
Yeah. Right. Okay, let's continue with how fucking emotionally manipulative apparently Matt
Boys, we
Colville
still got
is.
fucking 5 minutes.
I know, isn't that great?
Yeah, the
Elves-
first,
Oh
the
man.
first 7 were problematic enough.
Yeah, right. Elves in my
Kraken.
world fear the ocean because they were enslaved by mind flayers. Stop emotionally manipulating me.
Kraken, do you have fucking actual, like, undersea mind flayers? That's fucking cool.
That is actually really cool.
Because it's like, they're always underground. They're never in the ocean. Dude, I could totally get behind fucking actual ocean mind flayers.
Yeah,
Shit.
That's what I have.
Oh,
Whoa.
And
how dare you guys? You
That's
emotionally
like,
manipulated
if
me into
ever often,
laughing.
it's-
Yeah.
I'm making them aquatic.
Mm.
Man, fucking Forge World emotionally manipulated me into saving $175 on this second barbed Hyrule Duel that I didn't need.
I know. Anyway.
I could make it into a side Hyrule Duel.
Colville, it's not hard. In fact, one could argue that for that specific game, that was indeed the correct way of going about doing things. But to me, it's just another way of saying no with extra steps. From my perspective, I don't see any difference between this approach and the sort of ham-handed railroading that.
Wait a minute,
players
hang on, pause it.
I can't read that. Oh boy.
Hang on, wait.
Yeah, if you want to zoom in.
Give
on
it
that.
over, their father said. Oh, Dad, please. Mind your father. Brother and two younger sisters watch. Faces pained. It was a lot of money. The boy took a deep breath and, frowning, pulled his fist out from behind his back, depositing the gold crown in the father's hands. Who were they? Branwen asked. Oh, Branwen. Oh, that's is that from Game of Thrones?
Is it?
Branwen, Willem, and Wynne. Wynne.
Uh,
I think that the only place I know Branwen from is Game of Thrones. I think that's an excerpt from Game of
what
Thrones.
does that have to do with anything?
I have no idea. Apparently, it's emotional manipulation.
Apparently it's also railroading now. What is happening? What is happening? Where are these references coming from? You have no attribution to these at all.
Emotional manipulation equals railroading. Mind blown. Yep.
What are
Hey,
we
guys.
doing?
I railroaded you guys into being upset with Tharnanar because he well, you know.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like legit, like fucking. Okay,
That was a railroad.
okay. I don't.
That's where I thought.
I have no idea what the fuck this guy is saying anymore.
He was the top D&D YouTuber in 2019.
2019. Good thing they dropped him for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
The Tharnanar thing was where I thought you were going at first. Says Aiden.
Yeah. You
But
know me
there's
so
more.
well.
There's more. It's just. Man.
I've taught you well, my player, my sacrificial lamb.
Okay, so I'm just wondering what this top D&D YouTuber in 2019. Oh, how far we've fallen. Yes,
Mm.
I know, right?
But hey, you know what? This might have been the top D&D Pathfinder D&D YouTuber, but guess who's the top Pathfinder D&D person now? YouTuber.
I don't know. Who?
Broken.
That's true. That is broken.
No, not ones. I mean,
No, once. Yeah.
it's pretty good. You should check him out. His channel is nonat1s.youtube.
Yep, that's the one.
Suckmydick.com.
That's it. That's how you get there.
Actually, you know what? And you know what? He has a website. And you know what you should do? Go to his website. It's www.patreon.com/TableTalk. That's his website.
No, it's not. It's not even our website. We have our own website. Anyway,
Oh yeah.
yeah, all right. Yeah, look, so
Fucking Dragon.
he clearly emotionally manipulated them into making him top D&D YouTuber 2019. Yeah, exactly.
Colville did.
Right? It's a script. He's poorly comparing Matt's campaign to a script. Oh,
Yeah, right.
but that's not even his script, is it?
It's a Game of Thrones script, so
Is it again? Like, we're just
better.
so we're just now okay. So again, I agree to an extent of, yes, if you literally just write a script and have everybody follow that script, you are railroading somebody.
Yeah, that is. The
I don't
quintessential
think that's
definition.
what fucking Coville is doing.
Yeah, it's not.
What the fuck? Like, you need to back this up with more than just saying one sentence, than telling me because he tells them that this is how the game is going to be toned, and then saying that that is how your characters are probably going to feel, that he is emotionally manipulating you, that is also him writing a script. Like, this is
Or that's the
insane.
equivalent to it.
Yeah,
at
this is
least.
insane. This
Yeah,
is
no.
fucking insane.
This is extrapolating out to the moon and back.
Exactly. Oh, man.
Complain about their DM is not around. With the one key exception being is that you have to be a good writer to pull off the narrative cudgel, or it just turns into railroading. So I hope you understand
But
at
you
this
said
point
it
in the
is
video where
already.
I'm coming from. It seemed like there was a lot of good advice out there for DMs about not being precious about your game. And now there seems to be more videos like this. And I just don't see how that's going to improve anything, especially for new players in the online space. Here are 2 hard facts from somebody who's been in the online D&D space
Oh, okay.
recently.
Hard facts.
Number 1, there are not that many good writers out there who are DMs looking for new players. Number 2,
Let's just make a blanket
Let's
statement.
just throw the
and
entire online D&D
Yeah.
community under the bus.
under the bus
Fuck off.
immediately. Hey, guess what? If you're out there and you're running anything online, you're probably not a good writer, apparently.
Yeah, and well,
Fuck
here's
you.
the thing. If you're a good writer, that means you're not looking for anybody.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly. Fuck you, dude. Exactly. This is the craziest plot twist. I thought this would be so much better than it was, because in the beginning I was like, oh, this sounds interesting. He sounds like I'm like partially, like, I understand what he's saying in the beginning. Like, yeah, okay. Like,
Yeah.
some of these things you shouldn't say no to. Like, yeah, let's keep more of an open mind. But he doesn't say that. he's just like, hey, fuck you, Coville. Fuck you
Yeah.
and your emotional manipulation. And
Fuck you
also
and your
all the
super
people
wide open
online.
mouth. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that.
I
Did
didn't
you
even hear what you said. No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just over here fucking yelling about this shit.
Somebody will, I'm sure.
Oh, probably. Oh man. You heard? Okay. Apparently Aiden heard.
I said, oh, Aiden heard.
Okay.
Wait, what did you hear? Hang on, because I don't know if you heard me right. Because let's
Oh
see what
my
he says.
god.
No. I said actually, fuck you and your wide open mouth. Because
gotcha.
he's like, man, I don't know what it is with Colville, but like when he's in a video, his mouth is open so fucking wide so many times. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't know what it is. It's weird.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's basically just and this is so weird. I don't know why he's gone on this tirade for Coville. Is this envy? Is this what envy looks like? I don't know. What is the purpose behind this? He's
Envy
saying
was far sexier.
he's that's true. He's saying that this is to help people in the online space, but man, oh man, is he just throwing this shit, literal accusations of emotional manipulation. He specifically said that Coville, like, is emotionally manipulating his players. How the fuck are you standing on this high horse that you have, this pedestal that you have put yourself on as a moral authority? He is acting like Matt walked in the room and punched him in the face. It is true. What started as a discussion of saying no became a character assassination. Surprise. I know.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
It happens so often with us. It's so weird.
Well, no, I don't remember us ever covering anybody who just goes straight for the throat. You know?
Oh no, I thought we were assassinating his character.
Oh, us? No. He's trying to assassinate fucking. No, that's the thing. He's assassinating his own character. Like, we're just pointing it out because it's like, how the fuck? How the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my
I need an X-Acto knife blade. I cut my fucking thumb off.
No, we don't have to do anything.
Oh my god, Aiden, I could hear you for a few seconds.
For a few
Crazy.
seconds, yeah. But yeah, no, you're right. We don't have to do anything. He's literally just doing it himself. It's fucking hilarious. I don't. Okay, all right, continue. Here we go.
It's interesting watching people dig their own graves.
Yeah, it's true.
There are a lot of DMs out there that think they are excellent writers. You see, Colville was making some...
Hey guys.
Whether or not you think you're an excellent writer is something that can be judged. Yes, this is the thing. I don't trust you to be the authority on who's a good writer and who isn't now. I really don't. Because again, you've taken so much shit out of context that I don't even know what the context you've tried to, like, I had to have this explained to me by people in the chat because I don't fucking know.
Yeah, because you fucking lost me. That's not something a good writer does.
Well, that, and also, like, if you're going to make references, make appropriate references and make accurate references so that I can follow along and understand your argument. Because, man, oh man, I don't understand what the fuck you're saying.
Colville has even written books. What is his argument?
Well, this is the thing. Regardless of whether or not somebody is a writer, it doesn't mean they're a good or a bad writer, right? Like, this guy is just saying, just flat out, he's just saying people online, most of them aren't good writers who run D&D sessions. It's like, oh, okay, wow, maybe show me evidence. I don't know. Try to back this shit up. Oh, you're just gonna say it, and then you're gonna go on to say that people think they're good writers. Oh, okay, cool. I can agree with that because people think they're good writers. That's something you can accurately say. You don't have to back that shit up because, again, I can understand that. I don't think I'm a very good writer, but you can make that assumption, I guess. I can just be the 1% or whatever you think it is. Like, fucking...
See, the thing is, I think I'm actually kind of an okay writer.
There you go.
Only because I'm a part of this fucking group. Because it's like, oh man, the tiniest inconsistency. Oh shit! You know? Like, panic attack! Gotta fix it. You know? I blame you for my decent writing.
Good. I'm glad that I can help you.
Yeah, right? My fucking petrifying fear.
Good. I don't think he should be judging others' writing when he can't write a good script himself. Yeah, he's definitely reading off a script too, right? And the fact that he literally wrote and read and then, like, went into his editing software, I assume he edits, because he did put little edits in here, and said, yeah, me saying emotional manipulation is a great idea. Like, in this context, I love it. I love it.
Important about why saying no was critical for both the structure and integrity of the world he was trying to create and share.
Only 10:45?
The video seemed clear about that. Do I personally think that the majority of DMs watching that video will be able to fully understand those distinctions and implement them properly? In one word, no. The level...
So you have no faith in new people to understand and implement something that they pay attention to? They could maybe pay attention to? You really think that people are that dumb that they can't understand the nuance here of when to say no and when not to say no? I'm sorry, but I have more faith than that in most people. I really do.
Well, then I guess you're just dumb.
Apparently. Fuck me. Because... Oh, my God.
Of average DM's creative writing that I have encountered recently is the equivalent of, I don't know what example to use, a pie into somebody's face.
I like how he's trying to be natural, and he's like, I don't know what example to use when you see him reading from a script.
Wait, really? Go back. I couldn't see. I didn't.
Oh, you can if you watch his eyes. Yeah, if you watch his eyes, he's reading from a script.
I believe it, but I just did. I was looking at.
Oh, here we go.
That I have encountered recently is the equivalent of, I don't know what example to use. Pie into
oh my God.
Face.
It's just
so obvious. Dude.
It's so funny.
Oh
it's so funny. Look at this.
It would be funny if it wasn't sad.
I'm laughing at how pathetic it is. I really am. It's so fucking stupid.
The Kringa is strong here.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
By the way, Alejo, speaking of cringe,
Emotional
Brogan is
manipulation. Yep, exactly.
Brogan is using longsword, and he's learned how to use cringe damage.
Oh,
He fucking joined the dark side.
I used to use longsword, dude. Longsword's good.
Yeah, you fucking survived your fucking torment and torture by the dark side. You came back stronger than ever. But he's fallen.
No, dude.
Although it's not
Longsword's
nearly as
good.
bad anymore in Rise because it doesn't knock everybody down.
Yeah, I didn't remember it ever being that bad. So.
Oh, it was really fucking annoying in 3 and 4.
Oh, okay. Oh,
The
that's
old
why
games.
I didn't play
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, this is hilarious. This is so
Cringe was mentioned, so I had to.
Yeah. He said, like, I paused it at such a frame of him being so pleased with himself too. Fuck
Oh,
me.
really?
Look at
Oh
look
my
at,
God, yeah.
Look at how happy he is
So happy.
with this joke that he wrote. That is
Yeah,
not
oh my
great.
God. It's not that funny.
Banal, uninspired, stale, boring.
Oh, okay. So the timeless comedy method of a pie in the face is now stale, boring, and all of this shit. Cool. I would never laughed at a pie in the face. I watched a stream the other day where one of the things that they had as a punishment for one of the things they had to do was get a pie in the face. I fucking laughed. It was funny.
What kind of pie was it?
It was a cream pie.
Hell yeah.
It was hilarious for me to watch them. And I will say, yes, that's not funny to everyone, sure. But
Yeah.
let me tell you that sometimes in the right moments, a pie in the face is funny. So let me tell
Yeah.
you as well, in the right moments, some people can write well. Fuck you.
Yep.
Like,
I should know.
oh,
I'm writing a campaign, and in the right moments, I can write good shit. And in fact, I just came up with an idea not too long ago that I think is really good.
there you go. It's
This is real.
Oh, you know what?
hmm.
You know why I can write well?
Mm.
Ish.
Mm.
It's because I'm not writing D&D.
Oh,
It's
okay.
because I'm writing
Gotcha.
Call of Cthulhu.
Mm.
So my D&D campaign is shit.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Grunt of approval. Grunt of understanding.
I got so many memes to make when I get home. Oh, I'm so
I
excited.
fucking bet.
Do it. Oh, this is so fucking dumb.
This is really bad.
Oh my god.
Average DM's creative writing that I have encountered recently is the equivalent of, I don't know what example to use, a pie into somebody's face. Banal, uninspired, stale, boring. This is reality. While everybody can enjoy a collaborative narrative, not everybody is a professional writer. That's just truth. So players inevitably end up creating their own fun in games like this. Should they be punished with no in a game where the narrative/tone is probably already limited? In a perfect world, the answer continues to be no. With the vast majority of D&D games that I've seen online, collaborative storytelling, even just fucking around, will always be superior to whatever is in that DM's folder. Because again, the amount of DMs that are out there looking for new players, the amount of them that are actually good writers who can actually craft a decent narrative or story or setting or anything, is nil. There's really not that many of them. So
Is nil. No, that doesn't mean not many. That means there
now
are
you're
none.
starting to piss me off.
Like, legitimately, okay, so no one is saying that you need to quite literally punish players for not being in the same tone. That you can have moments of levity. I don't know if Coville said this. You haven't given me examples.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Give me fucking references.
No.
Oh, okay.
You know where the fucking references are?
Where?
In the olives.
Oh.
And you press that tiny naga to get to
I
them.
see. This is the game theme. Don't punish me with no in more words. It's
But yeah,
I
this is
just-
starting to get me mad.
he's insane. Dude, calm down and eat some olives.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
It's
he-
just, oh my god, what else are you gonna say, sir? Jesus
What
Christ.
other magical, mystical bullshit?
Perhaps influencers shouldn't be giving out so much advice to limit the player's autonomy, given the D&D landscape we are in right now. Maybe, just maybe, we should consider the player's plight a little bit more than the DM-centric view. Players need all the help they can
He's
get
given
right
plenty
now.
of references, just they've been off the wall. That's true, Aiden. That's true. The references,
no.
but the references
Aw.
don't even fucking matter. It's
They are looking for online games. Like I said before, sometimes players just have to go through a growing process. They have to stretch their clumsy wings first before they can soar with lofty ideals, like role assumption, to steal a term from Gary Gygax back in 1985.
Oh,
Will
good.
this
More
video
Gary
help
Gygax
any of the
bullshit.
DMs that I encountered recently online who have fully embraced the power of no? Well, I mean, no, probably not. I mean, maybe like tangentially. I mean, perhaps indirectly. It might help in some small way to put
sorry. Wait, what did you just fucking say? Did you just
Yeah,
go back
what-
on everything you just said? Or am I crazy? Hold on.
Oh boy, here we go.
with lofty ideals, like role assumption, to steal a term from Gary Gygax back in 1985. Will this video help any of the DMs that I encountered recently online who have fully embraced the power of no? Well, I mean, no, probably not. I mean, maybe like tangentially. I mean, perhaps indirectly.
Why? How? When? What?
What are you
Who-
fucking on
so,
about,
So you're
man?
telling me that your video that you have made is not going to help those that you have made to help? Like, you're calling out these people without helping them at all, and you are literally saying that your video has no purpose to help them? It's not going to help them? Cool, man. Real good. Real good.
What the fuck? And then the shit-eating grin after every fucking statement in
I
the last,
know.
like, 40 seconds he's made.
I
Fucking
know.
hell.
You heard it here,
God, it's
folks. Respect
insufferable.
the player's plight. Make players a protected group.
Yeah, right? It's not like players are fucking... It's not like they fucking pinned my lich, Boris.
I need.
Boris
I say.
Rotten
I say
boom, the
no to.
measles flash.
I say no to making players a protected group. Yeah, it's fucking. This is insane. Players need help. What? No, I know.
Yeah, right? Jesus.
It might in some small way to put another perspective out there. And hopefully some players will understand that the first inklings of self-determination, no matter how crude, should not be shut down by the DM just because he doesn't want to interrupt his gloriously created masterpiece. It is your game. Your game to raise to glory.
It's not just the player's game. It's also the DM's game. Don't
Yeah,
fucking forget
because-
that.
Yeah,
fuck?
because here's the thing, and hear me out on this one.
Yeah.
In a game of Dungeons and Dragons, you want to know who is the most important player?
Mm.
The Dungeon Master. And you want to know why?
Mm.
Because if the Dungeon Master doesn't show up, there's no game. So when you're talking about the person who's prepared your game and written a story for the player's enjoyment,
Mm.
you can at least give the DM story the fucking time of day.
It's
It's
Like-
so asinine.
like, oh man, like it's like this guy assumes that we're not having a session 0 to talk about what kind of game we're gonna play.
Yeah.
And like what people want to see in the game and all that kind of shit, and then the
Yeah,
the
or
DM
that
makes
the session 0 is the fucking DM walking all over the players. And
yeah,
being an asshole
that
to them.
right, exactly,
Who hurt you?
right? Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's like oh my god.
Glorious lots or have some fun wallowing in the dregs. It is your game as a player. Do not let anybody tell you differently. Thank you for watching the video. To anyone out there
Fuck off.
Yeah, God, that was.
I did not like your video at all, dude. I'm
Nope.
sorry.
I'm not sorry. I fucking hated it. It was
I
god
just-
awful.
It's just oh my god. Okay. Yay, we're done.
Done. No prison can hold me. Adventure awaits.
Yes. I'm glad I
By
got you the Matt
by
video. 'cause
prison, I
this-
mean this video, and by
Yeah.
adventure, I mean we're done.
Yeah, I'm glad I got you the Matt video because this has no context. Yes. It's still loading for you? Oh. At 12:10, he starts saying thank you for watching. That's it. Like, we're done with this.
Yeah, we are done with this, man.
There's nothing. There is nothing left for
nothing
him to
left.
say. I'm about because internet can't handle it. Okay. All right, dude.
Okay.
See you
Take it
later.
easy.
Bye.
Shame he won't be
Aiden.
able to hang out for Warhammer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, best D&D YouTuber of 2019. Dude, he really flaunted that in the beginning, and I don't know how the fuck. Maybe he got
they must have had
crazier.
real low standards.
Well, no, I think maybe he got crazier after 2019 because it went to his head, you know?
Maybe.
Like, fucking hell.
Like, what is it with fucking wizards being like, oh man, RPG pundit, let's consult him for D&D. This guy, oh man, best YouTuber.
Yeah.
Best.
I don't know.
Oof.
All right, well, we've made it to the midpoint because now we're going to watch the Coville video that he
When
is
we were making
apparently
characters for the
responding to. But before we do that, of course, it is the midpoint, so we should talk about our lovely, lovely patrons who make this possible, who
so-
help make this possible.
During the intermission and during the shoutouts and shill talk, I'm going to use the restroom, so I will
Alrighty.
leave the floor to you. So I'll be right back.
Go for it. All right. So, wasn't that just a joy, everyone? Didn't we just have fun doing that? Wasn't that just great? It was. So, was it best new YouTuber of 2019 and no one else came out then? Dude, I don't fucking know. This is it's just insane. Whatever the fuck this was, I don't know. But we're gonna just not pay attention to that anymore. He didn't stay in his own rails. It's true. All right. So, as usual, at this point, we shout out and we shill. So, thank you very much to all of our patrons who give us your monthly donation to help with the show. It is going to go towards some cool stuff. So for now, thank you to Draco Kusaji, the tier 3, the $15 a month. Very much appreciate it. For that tier 3 of table flipping. That Eldritch pack was not worth the years off of my life. I know, right? I'm so sorry for that video. Slazer as well for the tier 3, the $15 a month. Thank you so much. And Steely as well at tier 3. All of you golden table flippers, your tier 3s, man, pretty good. Thanks so much. Drake Cross at tier 2 with the $10, and Mog Zero as well, $10 for tier 2. Thank you as well for your flipping of the silver tables. And we have Chris, Frozen Spaghetti, and Kill Chrono in tier 3 for those bronze table flips. That tier 1 table flipping. Appreciate it immensely. Remember, if you want to, and only if you're able, you can go to patreon.com and search up TableTalk. That's TableTalk, not Table Talk with a space.
Hello.
And you can join in our Patreon. I post things early there. There's also Patreon specific content there. And right now it is the full version of Aiden and I watching all of Dracula Untold. And commenting.
How was that, by the way?
Oh, it's a bad movie.
That's what I've heard.
Yup, we definitely did the thing that we do in the podcast where we paused a lot and just talked about it occasionally. It's great. No, it's really fun.
Okay.
Like it was fun to dissect. It wasn't a fun time to watch because that movie's not great. It is funny. There are funny moments, but I did not have a fun time watching it, you know? I did have fun just because I was hanging out with Aiden and we were just shooting the shit, basically, occasionally. And
it was bad movie night.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bad movie night. It's fun.
Yeah.
The edited version will come soon. I'm just still editing that because editing is, you know...
Yeah, because it's long.
Yes, it is long. It is
Hard.
3 hours of a video that I now need to trim down to at least, like, at most, like, an hour, hopefully.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. I just got to pick out some really good jokes and shit that we were talking about, basically.
I know that pain. Don't worry.
It's gonna be a time. So yeah, if you join our Patreon, you can get access to that and early VODs and early other videos that we'll put up, like the digital distractions that I put up of us taking down the Iron Tower in 7 Days to Die.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a fun time. So like little things like that you'll get early, so you can see them before anyone else. So yeah, if you want to join that, feel free, and only if you're able to, please. Other than that, we have our logo on shirts and other goods on TeePublic. If you want to go over there, search up TableTalk. You can find our logo on whatever they sell it on there that isn't a poster because it's not big enough. But at some point, we will have posters, hopefully, and such. So, yes, go check that out if you want some physical merchandise. Yeah, that's all of that. Oh yeah, probably should talk about it now before we go into the second video. You're down to do Warhammer tonight, yeah?
Yeah, I drank a monster. I am good to go.
Yeah, I've been having a bunch of Coke, so yeah. So tonight, after the podcast, we're gonna do a Warhammer stream. For the first time in a while.
Refresher, because
Yep.
Little baby man has forgotten how to lose.
Yep,
even though
little
he's
baby
never
me
actually
doesn't know
lost,
how to play
technically.
anymore.
Technically, you've never actually lost, but
No, that's not true.
no, you haven't, because
Really?
the only times I've beaten you was when we fucked up the rules.
Oh, true. I guess.
Yep,
Yeah.
so I have technically not won yet. Makes me
Well,
sad.
it'll be a shorter game. It's gonna be only 500 points. So...
Oh wait, no, I did win the. Oh, well, again, we didn't know the rules. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I won the first patrol detachment, but yeah, no.
Anyway, so we're gonna do that later tonight. So if you're around for that, hey, come hang out. But yeah, other than that, let's
I'll
move
also
on.
be positing a future idea to Alejo during that stream. So hey, stay tuned for an idea that might be a thing.
Okay.
Could be fun. Could be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. So this is the video that was being responded to, apparently.
Yeah. Now this is what? This was the one that was made 2 years ago.
Let me check. So this was made
When we were making
so loud.
This
was made a year ago. December 17th.
No, not a year ago. This was made like 5 months ago.
Yeah,
only
sorry.
April.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So December 17th, 2020.
Okay.
Yes. So this is No running the game from Matthew Coville. I'm interested to see the context
Yeah.
fully.
21 minutes. Oh boy.
Yeah, well, probably won't have to, pause too much. We'll see.
Yeah.
When we were making characters for the heist, which is going to happen once there's a vaccine and it's safe for all of us to get back together.
Good.
When we were making new low-level chain characters for the heist adventure, one of my players, Matt O'Driscoll, said he wanted to play an elf pirate who was literally Adam Ant from the video Stand and Deliver. And I said, no, you cannot do that. And people watching, we were doing this live on Twitch, people watching got a little frisky. There was a whole thread on the subreddit about whether or not I was a racist against elves. Now, in retrospect, I probably could have found a way to make some.
So obviously we don't have to say much. Fucking what? Racist against elves?
Yeah,
Fucking...
because you don't want to make a character that is a specific character from what was a music video.
It seems like a music video. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know. I could have sworn he said.
I think
anyway.
he said music video. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, I'm
so,
okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Honestly, if you asked me that, I would think that that's a joke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I would think so too. I hope.
Yeah.
I mean, it probably wasn't because of the way that he's responding to it, but
yeah.
Something like. But there's a reason I said no, and it has to do with why Matt O'Driscoll is an elf pirate. Hey everybody, Matt Colville here, and today we're going to talk about saying no. Okay. There's this persistent myth that the DM should always say yes. Yes, but, Yes, you can try that, but there's a chance of failure or whatever. And generally, this is good advice. But I am suspicious of test questions that have always or never in them. If it says always or never, the answer is probably false, because there only needs to be one exception for those statements to be false, and there's almost always an exception. So yes, generally I think it is a good idea to listen to your players and say yes, or at least be open to their nonsense and try to find some middle ground.
So immediately, right off the bat, he's already said things that completely contradict what I've been told about this video.
Yeah.
He's already said, hey,
saying,
be open.
You can say no, but under the right circumstances, you can say yes.
And then
like
also,
that.
and then literally in the first, this is a minute and 23 in, hey, you can be open to saying yes about, or you should be open to letting your players do goofy things.
Yeah.
You should be open to it. Not that you should do it, that you should be open to it. Immediately says this.
Yeah. Like,
fucking hell. What is this other video that we covered? Hey, Steely, yeah, you missed the worst video we watched today. Fucking hell.
Well, I mean, we only watched one, but...
Oh.
But, like...
I know.
This gives me the impression... That fact gives me the impression, because, like, you know, he said that, and then it's like, immediately he goes into why you can be open to it and stuff. That gives me the impression that the guy watched the video, saw the first minute, paused it, and already was, like, typing out a script.
Well, so this is the thing. He took context from somewhere else. In the middle of the video somewhere, because we haven't reached that yet, and he's gone with that. He's completely overlooked and not given this context. This is the thing.
Yeah.
This is why responses are hard to do for some people, because apparently they just like to cut context, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, we're just going to be dishonest, and we're not going to show the full context. No. You don't understand. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
You don't
Don't worry,
fucking
it'll
do
happen to
that.
us eventually. I'm
Oh,
sure.
I hope so, man. I want it. I get here, the first thing I hear is him talking about people saying he's racist against elves. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Elves, if we're GW. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing.
Things.
It's mind-blowing to me that some people think you can be racist against totally fictional, non-real characters. That's the thing. You can be. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. They're not real.
But here's the problem. You can be, and it won't be a problem unless they're green, brutish,
Apparently,
and have big noses, and are apparently a perfect anagram. I think that's the correct word for black people.
right? Exactly.
Then it's a problem.
Yes,
because
but your character
some people think that orcs are black people, and
it's fucking ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Yes,
bad.
but your character spontaneously combusts. Yeah, well.
Yeah.
I think this guy is a better DM / D&D YouTuber than the other guy. Oh, you think?
No.
Like, in the first minute and a half, come the fuck on.
You can tell that from the hair alone. Come on.
Yeah, I know.
You are also responsible for maintaining the tone of your game. Very difficult to preserve. Anyone who's wanted to run a serious game and found it devolved into puns and dick jokes will know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I was working on a game, this is many years ago, and the publisher wanted the characters to quote movies. 80s movies for some reason. It didn't make any sense in context, but they loved the idea of our characters quoting aliens or They Live or whatever. And I said, no. My boss said, but Matt, it's funny when they say these lines. And I said, yes, but no funnier than it would be if they got hit in the face with a cream pie.
Huh?
And it turns out that was the right thing to say.
Are you kidding me that the guy watched this video and took it?
Oh my god.
He took his fucking shit from... Okay, like, and I understand if you want to use what people are saying in their response, that's fine. But he used it, he just used it...
He used it wrong.
He used it in a stupid fucking way.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
my god.
He used it completely incorrectly.
Oh my god. Okay. I love it.
Yeah.
I just this is the best part, when you just watch the context that the guy, like, that the people respond to, and the context is completely, like, it completely contradicts the whole fucking video. I love it every time.
It's great.
Oh my god. The first video is competing with Garibay for worst video honors. It's getting bad. It was really bad. Just because of dishonesty, really. Like, quite literally just bad fucking, like, no integrity whatsoever.
Guys, he said it.
What?
You said quite literally.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that's something I say a lot. Whoops.
No, that's fine. It's not
I
just
know.
I'm pointing it out. Because I'm an asshole.
In the face with a cream pie. And it turns out that was the right thing to say. My boss thought about it for a minute and went, "You're right." In other words, humor is good. We had lots of humor in that game, but it was all grounded in the characters and the world. And when it's grounded in the world, the humor makes the setting feel more real. If you go watch John Carpenter's masterpiece, The Thing, there's a lot of humor in that horror movie, actually.
That's true.
But never does someone get hit in the face with a pie. The humor is stuff these characters would actually say in the moment, and that kind of gallows humor reminds us that in these tense situations, normal people say something funny to diffuse the tension.
Yes.
And when we are reminded, this is what real people sometimes do, it makes the movie seem more real. But humor without context, just to get a cheap laugh, can ruin the mood, and mood is hard to preserve.
Sure, yeah.
So Matt O'Driscoll had an idea for this character as basically Adamant from the music video Stand and Deliver. And this is not in and of itself a ridiculous idea. I'm sure there are some characters like that in Capital, especially in Capital. Then he said he wanted to be an elf. And that's when I said no. I said no for two reasons, which I will explain, and then I'll explain how I could have said yes.
Okay.
First, I said no because that's not how elves work in my world. Simple as that.
Immediately I go, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
totally
just not
fine.
how they work in your world. Okay. Fucking this is the thing. We don't need to go like why would oh my god. Okay. I'm just reeling because the first video is just like basically he's just yelling at Matt Colville because he doesn't let the players do something because they want to be an elf. No. There's context here.
You're just ignoring it.
He uses the thing of a dwarf instead, right, to say no. But in this video, he's like, this is not how elves work in my world. That is a perfectly legitimate way to say, no, you can't be an elf in that context.
Yeah, you can't be an elf like this.
Right, and that's fine, because again...
It's not even saying you can't be an elf. It's just, you can't be an elf like this.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Some elves could maybe break the mold. That's fine. We can talk about that. And yes, that's the thing. If you want to be the elf that breaks the mold, then you have to talk with your DM afterwards about that, right? And that's I assume that's a place where he would go, yeah, if we want to figure out how this came to be and make it make sense in my world, then sure. Right? I actually have faith that Matt Colville will fucking say that. Because Matt Colville seems like a reasonable man. Somebody who has a fucking brain.
He has a reasonable brain. He's a reasonable man with a brain protected by a helmet of glorious locks.
It's true. We need to have a bad take Hall of Fame. Oh, dude. Oh, my God.
It would be really long. It'd be a long fucking haul.
This guy has the hair of a veteran GM, hair that has been permanently slicked back by years of frustrated hair palming at the game table. Dude, Colville's locks are fucking luscious.
Yeah, no, they're on point every time. It's crazy.
Matt is the D&D mafia and broke the first guy's legs. No, this is the thing. He broke the legs of some guy who was talking about something else, and the first guy was a bystander who saw it and then just started yelling at him.
Yeah.
He didn't even do anything to the first guy. He's just like, what the fuck? It's so funny.
Two reasons, which I will explain, and then I'll explain how I could have said yes. First, I said no because that's not how elves work in my world. Simple as that. I am philosophically opposed to the idea that personality is completely interchangeable from one species to another. That attitude, in my opinion, makes having different species in the same game pointless. When the only real differences are numbers on a character sheet, what's the point? You know, I like that moment where Samwise says, hey, are you going to do some magic? And Galadriel says, well, I don't really know what you mean by that. You people use that word to describe a lot of different unrelated things. Galadriel is not super alien. My elves are usually a little more alien than that. But in that moment, Tolkien is showing us these people think differently than we do. They are different than us. They are not humans.
You know, I appreciate this because like he is absolutely correct. And this is an interesting way to look at it. When you have your races all acting basically the same way, then they're basically just humans. Right?
Yeah, that's a good point, because at first, like when he started saying that, I was like, wait a minute, I wasn't sure I followed for a minute, and then I started to think about it for a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, that does make a whole hell of a lot of sense.
And like I have nothing against when people want to play their characters however the fuck they want to play them, right? Like I don't care that much. And again, I'm more than willing to have characters that are like, you know, I would be fine with having the character that wants to be the fucking weirdo that is, you know, whatever. Depending on, you know, race or whatever, it doesn't matter to me, because again, I don't think of all the all of the races in D&D as alien as that, right?
Yeah,
because they're all people, and they're all living in the same kind of universe, and they're all interacting with each other. How would they not be very similar, you know? Or they could be different, but in different ways, not just this whole alien kind of feel. It's definitely like something that you can have be more alien in certain ways to convey that alienness, but they're still human-ish, right? So it's like say you have your humans in the place, and they're doing their kind of kingdom thing, while the elves they live more of a like nomadic tribal society, right?
Ooh, okay.
That could be the way that they differentiate themselves. They have a different structure of power and such. They don't understand the same cultural aspects of like modern quote unquote humanity. Like they don't really subscribe to the whole like you build things out of stone and castles and shit like that. They think more of we have to keep moving, we have to follow the herds of animals in order to get our food. But you know, that's the difference there, instead of it being like personality wise, where they could still have that different personality because of how they grew up, right?
Yeah.
But it's not just like they're not like so alien to a point of like what the fuck, you know?
Yeah, my thing is that I like the concept of having elves and orcs and dwarves be intrinsically different, but at the same time, I don't like my thing is that if you say you wanted to play an elf, and in my world, elves are typically, you know, like this, you know, they're kind of like the aloof, kind of snobby kind.
Absolutely,
the classic stereotypical elf, you know. They all love Electrum coins, you know. That kind of
that's right.
they all love Electrum coins, and they only trade in Electrum because they're assholes.
Gotcha.
But I don't really like the idea of saying, like if someone came up to me and is like, hey, can I play an elf who's kind of like a mischievous kind of person? I don't really want to say no to that.
Sure.
Because that is completely reasonable.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like saying, hey, I want to play an elf that has bat wings, spider legs, and a fishtail. Then I'm going to say, yeah, no. You can probably play a Simic hybrid like that, but probably not an elf, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
Because I don't like denying something that is completely reasonable.
Absolutely.
And purely personality-wise. But I do like the concept of elves typically being, you know, the Electrum assholes, you know.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. I think for what he's talking about with his examples, he probably has a much, like, he understands how to do that way better than I would, right? Because writing things as alien is hard to do. Right.
Yeah, it's hard. As someone who's writing Call of Cthulhu, I can tell you right now, it's really difficult to write something that is inhuman.
Yes.
Human.
That makes sense.
It's so fucking hard.
I don't envy you at all, because like that sounds fucking hard.
Because like I kind of had to take the easy way out sometimes, and I hate that.
Hey,
but
man,
on the other hand, it has allowed me to kind of think about it in different terms, because think of something like, I don't know, think of Cthulhu, or actually, you know what, we'll go a step further. Think Nyarlathotep.
Okay.
Nyarlathotep is the fucking, not servitor, he's the voice of the outer gods.
Yes.
He's simultaneously the most human thing from the Cthulhu mythos, and also at the same time some of the most inhuman because he is an outer god. How the fuck do you write an entity that is beyond space, time, thought, dimensions, and everything?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yep. No, I exactly. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, Steely. The challenge is to be different without being random or weird for the sake of weird.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Because you have to have that weirdness have a reason behind it. It's really hard.
Yep. I already feel like I'm regaining the intelligence points I lost during the first video. Oh yeah, I know. Man, this is one hell of an emotionally manipulative narrative cudgel, dude. I know. I love that he used so many buzzwords to try to fucking sell his narrative. He the first guy doesn't fucking know what he's talking about. Yeah, Matt is talking about the bioessentialism of how the races are really different from each other. Yeah. And like that's
really neat.
It's really cool. I like that idea. It's something that I don't think I can do. So I won't try unless I really want to. But at the moment, I think I'm having fun the way I am. So I think I'm okay. You know.
The other thing that I like about that is you can have elves and stuff that are electromassals, but you can also have the ones that aren't be special merely because they aren't.
Yeah.
You know, you can have the imp that's really prim and proper. He wears like a fucking tux, and he's fucking dead serious all the fucking time. He is not a trickster at all. And that'd be really interesting because all the other ones aren't. So then immediately you're like, why is he this way? Is there something going on? You know, it immediately raises questions. And I like that. Anyway.
A human point of view. I remember an interview with Tom Baker, the guy who played Doctor Who when I was a kid, said he wanted the audience to remember that the Doctor isn't human. He's an alien. Well, how do you do that when you look like Tom Baker? He'd have the Doctor smile or laugh at dialogue that was serious or grim, dangerous or depressing. And then he'd suddenly get very serious when saying something funny. That was the actor's way of saying, this person is an alien. They have different values. I like that. Terry Pratchett writes elves that way. They laugh and cheer at cruelty, even cruelty committed against them. Now, this is my nonsense.
So they're Dark Eldar?
Yeah, I was literally saying Drakari.
I knew you. I fucking knew it. Neither of us even play Dark Eldar.
I know, but they're so cool.
Torture machine go burp.
Yeah. In all the sci-fi novels I've ever read, only one author has written an alien species that's fundamentally alien and not human in any way and made it believable. Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Oh, who was it?
Yeah.
What were they? I'm curious. Yeah. It was the Covenant from Halo.
Pratchett writes elves that way. They laugh and cheer at cruelty, even cruelty committed. Now, this is my nonsense, and I do not expect my players to strictly abide by it. Although I remember my friend Jess did a pretty good job portraying Lady Serial as having very alien attitudes to the things the human heroes did. But while I don't try to force my players to play elves my way, I don't even know how I would do that, I draw the line at making a character that sort of destroys that fiction. You know, you might say, well, can't you make an exception for this one character? But think about that for a second. This is a player character who will feature in a multi-part adventure. So this elf is going to become the elf in the game, the one everyone thinks of when they think about elves in my world. So they wouldn't be an exception. They would be the rule.
Well, that's the thing. I'm not going to have a pushback with this, actually. Because he's saying this, and I agree, but I think that's a good thing. I think that would then create some interesting drama between when the humans or whoever actually meet the elves, right? They have different expectations of what they're going to what they're going to encounter, and then once they encounter what elves are actually like, then it's like, oh fuck, we have to reevaluate what we were doing, or it could cause like an accidental incident, right? A diplomatic incident or some sort of active war by accident, right? Like it could be something that actually does increase the drama and tensions. Yeah, absolutely. And I have some pushback with this where it's like, yeah, okay, I understand what you're saying, but I also think it could be a different way.
I understand. Yeah, I do understand where he's coming from, but the thing is, once you introduce the elves and then you have the elves look at him like he's the fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
then that illusion is destroyed.
Yeah, exactly. You can also have that
and
be something.
You have like a fucking battalion of elves, like hundreds of elves, all look at him. It's like, what the fuck is with this guy?
Yeah,
He doesn't
absolutely.
trade an electrum.
Yeah, exactly. He values gold.
It's not mixed with silver.
Pure gold. Yeah, no, absolutely. Like that's another thing that you can do. So I have some pushback on this specifically.
Yeah.
It's almost like including this full context would have made this a lot more interesting of a discussion, because I would have had something that I could push back on in the other guy's video, but he just kind of cuts it off and says, "Fuck you, you do tell them what to do." Because in this case, I would go, yeah, I mean, if I think that you could not. And he even says, like, there is a reason. He even has said that there is a way he could have said yes. So he's already said, like, again, against the other video. Fuck me. Peter F. Hamilton is the writer, apparently. Okay. Don't know that. Anyway.
The baseline. That's when I think it's okay to say no. If the players are trying to do something that is wildly out of genre, or breaks the tone or the theme of what you're trying to do, or breaks the foundations of your setting, then it is okay for you to protect those things.
I think
In fact,
so, yeah.
I think it is important to protect them. Once everybody's quoting 80s movies or dancing around like an idiot, the train has left the station. But even then, if Matt O'Driscoll was inspired by...
You see in the chat? Olive Man.
Wait,
Nah.
Oh god.
Nah, context is overrated. You're supposed to say yes to everything forever until the end of time. I know, because I'm an expert.
What does PF stand for?
I don't know. Maybe. I love that it's Olive Man, dude.
Yeah,
It's even a picture of him.
Who is this?
I
Who is
love whoever.
Who is the secret? He's the new superhero.
Oh, whoever. It might be Pizza Funk. It is Pizza
It's
Funk.
Pizza Funk. Yeah.
Thank you, Pizza Funk. I love it. I love it. Okay, PF is Pizza Funk. I get it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, thank you for that. That's very good.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay.
Fucking Olive Man.
of a creature from this alien culture who went against the grain, I might have taken it more seriously, but he wasn't. I watched him go through the player's handbook, look at all the different races.
No. That's important. He said if he wanted to be a character. Oh, let's pull it back and just have him do.
Creature from this alien culture who went
Okay, wait.
Who went against the grain?
Yeah.
80s movies or dancing around like an idiot, the train has left the station. But even then, if Matt O'Driscoll was inspired by the idea of a creature from this alien culture who went against the grain, I might have taken it more seriously.
There you go. Like I again, yeah. If you're not like, and I agree, if you're going to be completely tonally just completely gone, see you, Dragon Kraken.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be completely tonally off and all that stuff, you can totally just say no, and that's fine. And then with this, especially, he's then like, yeah, if he had been more of a, he's still grounded in the culture and all that kind of stuff. He's still like that kind of thing, but he is. Excuse me, he is going to be kind of pushing back against it, right? Like that completely changes the way that it is. It's not just, I'm doing this for the sake of being funny, it's I'm doing this because I don't want to be a part of this culture.
Yeah.
Right? Which is a totally different thing.
Yeah, that's
it could be
a character.
Yeah, exactly. It could be related, yes, but this is the specific underlying cause is important. Is more important than just saying for the only surface value being it's just to be funny, right? Because that, again, totally different.
Yes.
I watched him go through the player's handbook, look at all the different racial options, and discover one option gave him a racial bonus that would be quite good for this character. That is why I said no, because he had no interest in playing an elf. He just wanted this one bonus, and elves happened to be the species that granted that bonus.
Oh my god, more context!
Oh my god.
If you're
Again,
just going to...
I'm pretty sure Olive Man fucking watched for a second and was like, oh, I don't like that you're
He watched up until where he cut, and then he cut.
Yep.
Didn't watch the full video. There's no fucking way. And even because that's the thing. If he told me, if I asked him, did you watch the whole video? And he said yes, then I would go, you're just dishonest then.
Yeah.
you're just fucking dishonest, and I don't trust you.
It's a question with no good answers for him.
Exactly. Like, if he said no, then I'm like, why didn't you watch the full context? If he said yes, then you're just intellectually dishonest.
Yeah. Intellectually dishonest?
Is that the proper? It
It
might not be. Anyway,
whatever.
Regardless, dishonesty is there. He is
Yes.
dishonest in a way. Fucking hell. An additional challenge is to have an alien culture, but still manage to have enough that is relatable so that people can connect with these very alien people emotionally. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very hard to do.
Yeah.
I applaud those who can.
People can, humans and Tau and Eldar can very easily fucking connect with the Tyranids because everybody gets hungry from time to time.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's why with the Tyranids being so alien, it actually pushes them against, because you don't want to relate to them. You want them to be seen as the enemy. That's the thing. GW did
Even though
a fantastic job.
They are technically the least evil race.
Oh yeah, they're quite literally
They have
neutral.
literally no concept
Yeah.
of evil.
They're quite literally neutral. It is true, but
Yes.
but it is so they did such a good
Yeah.
job of making it a alien race that you cannot understand, or that you can understand, but you do not want to, like.
Yeah.
You
You don't want to fathom it.
Yes, exactly. In real life, we can connect on an emotional level with, for example, dogs, even though they live pretty strange lives by our standards. That's true.
Or wait, the strange one to the dogs.
That's also true.
Wants to know your location. Yeah. Which one?
I guess I'll just go join the cult really quick. Hey, four-armed god!
Hell yeah.
Or the four-armed
When I
emperor.
get absorbed into the Tyranid collective, I want to come back as a sweet ass Carnifex, baby.
Yeah,
Even though they're shit now,
right.
for the moment.
So man said a Reddit. So Matt said a Reddit post called him racist against elves. How much you want to bet all of man saw part of that Reddit and was upset with this video? Ooh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
I don't know. This is the thing. I can't fathom, and I don't want to fathom what all of man even fucking, like, his brain, because it hurts me, to my core.
Yes.
Ugh.
Stuff really bugs me. The idea of choosing a species with no knowledge of it or interest in their culture or attitude, purely the mechanical benefits you get for playing them? No. And
Okay,
when I called
that's
Matt
fine.
out on this, he said, "You're right. That is exactly what I was doing." And I am 100% confident that whatever constraints you or I might put on our game, there are literally dozens of different characters the players could make that they would enjoy playing and which would fit in.
Yes.
When we pestered Phil about running his Valengard campaign, he said, "Okay, I'll run again, but on one condition. You all have to play dwarves." Phil really thought that would be a sticking reticent to make a sweeping demand like that, but none of us cared, even a little. We were happy to play dwarves. Dwarves are cool.
Shit.
To Phil,
sure.
the thing that excited him was the idea of a group of dwarves reclaiming their ancestral homeland in a world where once there were only dwarves, but now the area is dominated by refugee humans.
So the
Being a
Hobbit.
dwarf in that campaign
Kinda, yeah.
is important. It's important to the themes of his game, not just the tone. So Phil started by saying, no humans, no elves.
Also, Clan Angron.
Gotta play a dwarf. And
Yeah,
it's
I
a
was
great
gonna say.
campaign.
Yeah, I was thinking.
No can be
maybe
very
somewhere.
powerful. It can help make your game
For fantasy.
yours. If you only ever say yes, then whatever ingredients you were using to cook up a world will eventually become overwhelmed by all the other stuff people are throwing in there until eventually what you're left with is an unrecognizable mess. It won't.
So, I want to rephrase what he's saying here, because I agree that you need some kind of constraints. I think having some limitations can really help you in a lot of different ways. I think actually, if you do have, like, saying no to certain races or all that kind of stuff, you don't have to, obviously. Obviously, this isn't saying that you need this, but I think it is something that you can actually add a lot more flavor with, and actually kind of come up with some creative ways around some stuff if you say that this isn't allowed, because then you find ways to work around it, or your players do, and then you kind of create this creative atmosphere, right, where they need to figure out how to kind of be something when it's not technically a thing that they can be, right? Or do something in that kind of way. I think there's a lot to gain from working with those limitations in order to overcome problems, quote unquote, right?
Yes.
Seem flavored at all.
Also, I
Another
love
way
that
to say
that's
no,
his
and
name
this
now.
is gonna
Olive
be
Man.
More
Yeah.
controversial, but I've seen it done to great effect. Is telling the player, no, your character would not do that. I know it sounds crazy, but hear me out. This happens very rarely now that my players and I are all adults, but especially when we were kids.
Okay.
And I think new players of all ages can do this. The players would sometimes want their characters to do something mechanically advantageous, but completely out of character. I remember when I was working on this Star Trek tabletop ship combat game, and I was trying to figure out how ramming should work. If you want to ram your capital ship with 900 souls on board into another ship, what should happen? I couldn't figure this out. I couldn't figure out any rule that made sense to me, but which didn't suddenly make ramming the most optimal choice in a lot of situations.
Fair.
Well, I brought the problem and my frustrations to my friend and coworker Charles Ryan, and he said, ramming should punish the player trying to ram.
Yes.
I was gobsmacked by this.
Sure.
He explained that whoever initiates the ram should be very likely to lose their entire ship while inflicting only minor damage on the opposing ship. So no one would ever bother trying it except out of extreme desperation and under very, very specific circumstances.
Sure.
That did not immediately make sense to me. Why should I lose my entire ship and you only take a little damage? Surely we would both go up in a blaze of antimatter. And then he opened my mind and said, because ramming is very ahistorical. First of all, these ships are very expensive. They are a limited resource, probably the most expensive, complex, rare things their culture produces, and no captain is going to throw one away if there's any chance of fighting on and
That's
inflicting even a little damage.
That's even like,
Unless you're you're the Ultramarines getting eaten by Tyranids.
well, to be fair, that was actually the best decision they could have made in that.
Well, they
circumstance.
sacrificed an Emperor-class battleship.
Yeah, but they also stopped that whole.
Oh, I know they
fleet.
stopped it, but I know it's just
No,
it's just
like because
made me
again,
think of that.
like it still applies to the context, right? Because like
Yeah.
again, yeah, absolutely, it's a bad idea to lose that kind of thing because even in whatever universe, even if it's something that can be made again, it's resource heavy, right?
Oh,
It is time heavy. It is a bad idea to lose a ship. In any respect. And so yeah, because that's your livelihood. It's fucking gone for like however the fuck long. You might get
or you could just wind up dying because
or you could just wind up dying. Absolutely. Well, that's the thing. In all cases, and I'll even reference Star Trek, since he's talking about it a bit. In any Star Trek episode where somebody has boarded the ship, they make sure to get people off it and to set the self-destruct thing because they don't want the technology to be in other people's hands or information, excuse me, or whatever, because that's what's valuable. But again, that's not the option because it's the first option. That's their last option. They've been boarded. They're in a desperate situation. They cannot reclaim the ship. They will destroy the ship, right?
Yeah. And
whereas,
Starfleet probably fucking tells them to do that.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly what it is, and like that's part of the whole thing. And then if you and yet they still lose a lot of red shirts. Yeah, well they're expendable, except for Picard. Don't worry, Picard's a red shirt. Don't forget. You can make it. Anyway, so quite literally. By the way, hey, Kilcrona, what's up? But yeah,
you were a Hormigaunt.
So that's the thing, right? It in this case, I would be like, yeah, if you punish for that stuff, one, it does away with that issue. That's fair, and two, it makes total sense to me because again, like you are just ramming your full ship into the other ship's shields and everything, and trying to like do something. I don't know.
Yeah. Because fucking spaceships with shields that can fucking
they can take fucking phaser fire and
they can take phaser fire. They can survive photon torpedoes. You're not going to do anything with a physical impact just with a ship, unless it's Star Wars apparently.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know. I watched The Last Jedi and let's let's break the whole universe immediately. Yeah, it's a great idea. Basically, most cases where ramming in sci-fi would be better done by an equivalent-sized AI-guided cruise missile. That goes for hyperspace ramming too. Yeah, absolutely. There's no reason for the ship to be be in danger. It should be a missile or some kind of, lesser ship, I guess, some sort of lesser object that is not a ship, right? Anyway, so this is completely off topic of the saying no thing, but Well, no, it's not. But anyway, well, fuck it.
It's an extension.
Or even better, retreating and saving the ship. Secondly, and more importantly, no captain is going to sacrifice their entire crew, who are also expensive, they are well-trained, they have years of experience and institutional knowledge that cannot easily be replaced. No captain is just going to murder their entire crew in a fit of pique. In other words, in the world of our fantasy, this would almost never happen.
Fit of pique, I think you said? Hold on.
What the fuck is a fit of pique?
Cannot easily be replaced. No captain is just going to murder their entire crew in a fit of pique.
Fit of pique. Hold on.
I have no idea what.
Fit
That's.
of,
I've never heard that. I've never heard the word pique used that way. Before.
fit of pique. Uncountable noun. Pique is the feeling of annoyance you have when you think someone has not treated you properly. Okay. So it means reacts badly because their pride is hurt.
Okay,
Basically, yeah. So, yeah, okay, I understand. Yeah. The sequel trilogy is just a really bad dream, that's all. Hey, if they actually go through with the decanonizing of the sequel trilogy, that would be hilarious.
Wait, really?
Yeah, that was talked about. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Disney can do no wrong.
In other words, in the world of our fantasy, this would almost never happen. But the player simulating that imaginary world isn't taking any of that into consideration. They are motivated to behave in a way no Starship fleet captain ever would. So it's up to me, in other words, the designer, to develop rules that simulate that reality. Since ramming is almost unheard of in both the real world and the world of our fantasy, the best rule would be one that made it equally rare in the simulation.
Sure.
Even if it didn't make practical sense. In other words, I can't make a rule that says you have to care about your ship and the people on it, but I can make a rule that causes the players to play as if they cared. Sure. That blew my mind. It is one of the best lessons I ever learned as a designer. I think back to it all the time.
But apparently we're emotionally manipulating people if we do that, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
What can be said? Hear me out, ramming using a giant box freighter full of gaming tables set to flip on a timer. This could work. The most powerful force in the universe. I see. You found it.
I wrote and the game was a big hit, and I ran tournaments of it at Gen Con, and no one ever once complained, but they certainly would have complained if I had made ramming this devastating alt. They'd all be competing to see who could be the first to ram.
That's true.
Didn't simulate Star Trek, and they wouldn't enjoy it. The player might be motivated to exploit the rules, but that can produce behavior that their character would never engage in. So the best rule is one that discourages that ahistorical behavior. But RPGs are very complex, and it's hard to come up with rules for every scenario, and we would not like the game if it had all those rules. Too many rules, Herr Mozart. That's what the DM is for. It's our job to handle all the exceptions, and that sometimes means we have to remind the player that in certain situations, what the player wants is almost certainly not what their character, a real flesh and blood person in this imaginary world, would do. Now, this is very rare, and when it happens, just saying no is probably not the best solution. Better is to just remind the player of their character's perspective and ask, is this really what your character would do?
Okay. I was like, that was my contention with his whole thing for this whole time, was like, you don't just tell them that's not what your character would do, but he's saying remind them of what their character like thinks and feels and all that shit, then yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's a much more diplomatic and sensible way to do it.
Exactly. Hey, wow, watching context is good. I love this.
Yeah, context is nice.
This is I don't mean to keep harping on it, but that video is so fucking bad that I will. It's just it's I know it, but I don't want other people to get tired of it. I'm sorry. It's just one of those things of like I know it can get tiresome when we just say the same thing over and over. But again, that first video was the fucking worst. Because again, the more that I watch this video, the more I'm like, that guy never fucking watched this. That guy never fucking watched this. I don't understand how he could have, right? Like there's no fucking way. Hear me out. Ramming using a ship full of angry Star Wars nerds, and you tell them J.J. Abrams and Rian Johnson are on the other ship. That's true. And Kennedy. Put her on the ship too. That's true. That's true.
Kennedy? Who dat?
Kathleen Kennedy.
Who dat?
She's the current director of Star Wars, or not like the current head of that, I think.
The one who directed the new trilogy.
No, she's the head of Lucasfilm, I think. So she puts her stamp on things. Yeah,
I see.
I believe that's her. Anyway,
I'm lucky. Every time up for me, my players always at least think about it, and that's really all I ask, because just thinking about it for a second usually either causes them to tweak what they were going to do or come up with a better reason for doing it, and I'm okay with either of those. So saying no doesn't always mean just, crossing your arms and being stubborn. Usually it means trying to find some common ground. I could have let OD play his character the way he wanted if I had just said, how about you play a half-elf, and instead of the half-elf bonus, you get the elf bonus you want. I guarantee you he would have been perfectly happy with that, and then we'd both be happy. Play the outrageous character he imagined, and I'd still have alien scene in the game. Because
oh my god, it keeps like stuttering for me. Hang on, I gotta put it back up.
Weird.
To you, he would have been perfectly happy with that, and then we'd both be happy. He'd get to play the outrageous character he imagined, and I'd still have alien-seeming elves in my game. Because who says all half-elves have to get this one ability? Why can't they sometimes get the ability of their elf parent?
Sure.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So I think the true reasons you say no are because you're trying to preserve the tone or themes or just uniqueness of your world, because that uniqueness is what makes it your world. Or you think the player wants their PC to behave wildly out of character. In both instances, there are ways to say no that bring the player on board. Try to find out why the player wants to do something wildly out of genre or out of character. Because once you know why they want to do this weird thing, you can come up with something that lets them do what they want without damaging verisimilitude.
Fucking... He didn't watch the video. like this is perfect, right? He's again, he's talking about finding common ground. That is important. That is that is such a better way to say, hey, this is how you should say no. I love how in the first video, and I'm going to reference it again. I love how in the first video he said, "Oh, I don't think new players who watch this video are going to understand how to say no in the correct way." When literally, it is being laid out in front of you in the most easy to digest way.
But people can't understand that.
But people can't understand that because they're apparently stupid.
Yep.
I was feeling a little bad of making fun of Olive Man. Not anymore, says Pizza Funk. Yeah. Oh, you shouldn't. You shouldn't.
Yeah, no.
Because the guy, legitimately, I have no fucking idea how he thought that his video was any good to put out now.
Yeah.
I really don't know. It is a bad fucking video. Like, terrible.
Bad. Scathing levels.
So, my advice, but there is an appendix to this video, because I figure since we're talking about saying no, we talk about one of my more controversial rules as a DM.
Okay.
I do not use the optional rule that lets players choose feats instead of ability score increases, or the variant human that lets you choose a feat at level 1.
That's
and
fine.
Actually, I probably could let him do that. It's not that many feats in the long run.
It's really
but I was
not.
thinking back to 3rd edition, where, in my opinion, feats had a big impact on your character.
They did.
And I'm not going to defend why I made that ruling. I'm not trying to convince you not to use feats.
Okay.
But this is the no video, so I think it's appropriate to at least explain why I said no to feats.
Okay.
As I'm sure you know by now, I started playing D&D in the 80s. But I came of age as a gamer in the 90s, which was an era of RPGs dominated, more so than now, by narrative. So my game always has one foot in narrative games. You know, I use stuff like cutscenes at my table, but I no longer require my players to write a minimum of 2 pages of backstory for their characters. That is something I did for years. Terrible DM. But also, I have one foot in that old school pulp fantasy swords and sorcery dungeon crawling tradition. I like both, which is good because 5th edition has both. One of the things I miss about old school D&D was how few powers your character had. If you compare a 1st edition fighter with a 5th edition fighter, there's been a lot of power creep. There are good reasons for that, but here's what I miss. I miss that era where the majority of your cool stuff came from the magic items you had recovered in adventures.
Okay.
I loved looking at a character sheet, mine or anyone else's, and seeing all this dope loot they had. Every item on your sheet reminded you of some incredible struggle you'd been through. Some of these items were from a treasure hoard, some were recovered from the bodies of your enemies, some were rewards from powerful allies, and all of them reminded you of your past exploits.
Some of them you got from calculating how much Baphomet's was worth. No, I'm saying that in the most like that is actually something that I look back on and go, that was really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's legitimately like that's a compliment.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't mean to make you like sigh and shit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it was great. Variant human is proof that feats are so powerful. It's far and away the best race option because of the free feat. I've got a friend who just lets any race choose a free feat for every character regardless of the race. You might as well do that so the other races have some viability. So that's the thing. I don't necessarily agree with that being what makes feats seem more powerful. Variant human is pretty good, yeah, but the feats in 5e are not, unless they're taking quite literally the quote-unquote most optimal feats, like Sentinel,
great weapon fighter or sharpshooter.
Well, those ones actually have that drawback, which I'm okay with, right? Like the one that's the -10 to hit, and then you get the power boost, which again will be cutting, like basically non-existent once they reach a certain level, but that's once they reach that certain level, right?
Yeah.
Well,
it depends on what level they're starting at.
That's also true. But yeah, I think it's fine. Like, regardless, I'm fine with if you just give everybody a feat at first level. Fuck it, I don't give a shit. It's just a feat. It just means that you're going to balance around that. And regardless, you're going to balance around the feats anyway if you're allowing feats at all, right? Hopefully. Right. I don't think, unless it's the really annoying ones that you don't want to deal with, that it's really a problem. But everybody takes the ones that you really, don't want to deal with anyway, like Sentinel and all that, because they're really good. So fuck it. I don't know.
Really good. Don't blame me for taking the feat. Blame Wizards for making it so stupidly OP.
Blame me for not fixing it. You guys should find Matt's video about 4E and taking things from 4E to enhance 5E combat and watch one of these days. Yeah, absolutely. I have actually seen that one. I have actually seen that one on my own time.
Indigo, it's funny that you should mention that, because I was talking earlier, because I know when you came in, I was like, hey, thank you for recommending Jackals, because I picked it up and it's really cool. I'm going to be stealing something from Jackals that I really fucking love and using it in every single D100 game I ever play forever now. Oh, really? It's the attack thing that I was talking about earlier, because I just dig that shit so much.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. To be frank, I do blame Wizards of the Coast. Law. Oh yeah, you can absolutely. I don't see why you.
They are the ones to blame.
They are the ones who made it. They are the ones to blame. Yeah, they haven't fixed it ever. Like, yeah, that's fine.
Even though it's been a problem for the longest fucking time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, like, it's on me if I just leave it as is, right? And I don't do anything about it, and I just bitch about it. Like, I wouldn't do that. Anyway. Excuse me.
I like how one of the other things is that I think it's funny how the main topic of the video is only half of it, and the quote appendix, which is supposed to be like a small little section, is almost half of the video.
Hey, I'm fine with it. It applies, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Dude, this is the thing. I enjoy this video. I enjoy this. This is the thing, right? The other one, it was a slog, but I'm having fun right now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
From a treasure hoard, some were recovered from the bodies of your enemies, some were rewarded allies, and all of them reminded you of your past exploits. That is, for instance...
Oh my god, why is it cutting out so much for me? Cut things for short for tonight. I'm looking for the VOD. See you guys later. See you, Steely!
Yep, enjoy the first half of the video. That's where things went to shit.
Yeah. You'll have context for why we hate that we have context now.
I played through the Mines of Bloodstone, a high-level AD&D adventure, and my paladin recovered a special weapon, and this is what the adventure said about it in Section 17 of Chapter 4, The Lady of the Lake.
Pages too.
The streams of this region all converge in this crystal clear lake. If a paladin of exceptional purity... That's me. Approaches this lake, he hears a telepathic female voice that tells him to remove his armor and equipment, leave his weapons behind, and walk into the lake. The paladin can choose whether to do this. If he, interesting that they assume my character would be a he. I mean, He was, but that's beside the point. If he does not, the voice stops and never speaks to him again.
I mean, so to explain that for anybody who isn't aware, he is universally used as a gender neutral thing in these kinds of books. We went over this, and in fact, it's even in the AD&D book itself. It explains how it is used as a neutral kind of thing. So don't get upset. Basically, anyway.
Quit being a little bitch baby about
evil sense is silent. If he walks onto the lake, he does not sink, but continues walking to the lake's center. There, a nude woman of exceptional beauty, comeliness 24, rises from the lake and takes his hand. All male characters who behold her, except the paladin, must make a saving throw versus magic or die. No idea why I thought that was a good idea. That's insane.
That is
terrible
insane.
design. Any character who attacks her immediately takes the maximum damage that his attack would have caused. The woman introduces herself as Lalibela, a demigoddess of the Nixies. She gives the paladin a glowing sword, and all the paladin's other weapons and devices, except armor and shield, vanish from the shore. Lalibela says, "This sword, Crusader, shall henceforth be your sole weapon against evil, and with it you shall conquer so long as you be faithful. Slay a great demon with this sword, and it shall gain its full powers." Then she sinks beneath the surface of the lake. The paladin can walk back to the shore without sinking. The sword is a +5 Holy Avenger. When a major demon, type 3 or better, is slain with it, it acquires the following special powers: heal once per day, provide strength to the wielder once per day when combating an evil opponent, and charm person on contact once per day. Its special purpose is to slay demons, and it has the power to disintegrate a demon on a natural 20. It is telepathic with its owner and has an ego and intelligence of 17.
Cool.
It can commune with Lalibela once per week. Crusader will not force its wielder to do anything stupid like find Orcus and challenge him to a duel, but it does really like to slay demons. It will howl in anguish the first time its wielder runs from a demon. On a second instance of cowardice in the face of a demon, the sword teleports back to Lalibela instantly, leaving the PC behind.
Makes sense.
That is D&D to me. That is a unique item, uniquely gained via a memorable experience in a single adventure. It's not a feat. It's not a class ability. It's not the result of any choice I made when I leveled up. It is a result of something my character did.
Sure.
Nothing to me is as meaningful. The choices you make when generating your character, your stats, the choices you make when you level up, the way you spend your cash. Any other player in any other game could have made those choices. But the only way to get Crusader was to go through this module, and this module alone. Be a paladin. Trust this goddess's voice. Baltair is the only master of ravens anywhere on Earth. No other campaign has that. I made it up. Even if someone else stole it, they couldn't steal the exact situation in which Tom's character fought the old Master of Ravens in the climactic battle against Calorol the Vile. Sir Razalax is the only Knight Exorcist anywhere in any game. He is unique. Anyone else could have rolled those stats, chosen Dragonborn and Paladin, but he is the only Knight Exorcist because he trusted the voice of Saint Isolde and risked his life to defeat Explicitica Defilus. I also love that idea that part of the game involves finding miscellaneous magic items you never would have asked for, and then in a moment of desperation, reading the description, maybe for the first time, of this item that you thought was pointless, and inventing some crazy plan that used that item to get out of trouble. That is peak D&D to me. So that is why I prefer awarding items and feats and powers as a result of the things the players do during the game over customization options anyone could choose when they level up.
Okay, that sounds cool to me.
Fucking 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this is
aside from the whole, you die if you look at her.
Right, and he also went like, that's stupid.
Yeah, even he was like, yeah, it's stupid.
Which, so again, just to remind for context, because we've just been listening for a while, he's telling us about this because he's telling us why he doesn't usually allow like feats and stuff. Which, giving us the reasoning is cool because now I understand how he runs his game. And like what it means to be a player in this game, what I can expect, right? And that would be like getting cool items, getting powers because of those cool items and shit. Which is, again, really cool and something that I wish I could do.
Yeah.
Right?
I tried. I'm not the best at it, but I did try.
Mm-hmm. It's fine. Like it's one of those things where, again, Coville has bigger brain than me. Okay, he has, and
then both of us.
he's got more experience. He's done this for longer. Like that
Yeah,
is
he's been playing since they were kids. And how old is he?
like 40
Several thousand years old.
Right, yeah, he's an experienced traveler of the ages. But and like, not to, this is the one case where he's not telling me, like, because he's told me, it's not the same as when the other guy was quite literally flexing his experience, right? He was quite literally just telling us that to try to look more credible for his stupid arguments. Whereas he is using this organically throughout his story in order to actually make it so that I understand and believe that he's experienced, right?
Yeah.
And it actually has relevance, right? That's why I'm just trying to explain, just to not look hypocritical, I hope. Anyway. 4E does both player options and crazy items. I'm sure it does. I think anything can, right? He's a dragon shapeshifted as a human, probably a copper dragon. Oh yeah, Koval is a dragon. You're right. But yeah, this is the thing. I think it can be done in any system, any edition of D&D. It's just these were the classics, right? That this was built upon. And if you take that stuff and you make 5e into that, it changes the way that 5e is, which would be cool. But it also, I think, would be something that isn't 5e anymore, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I think a better balance would be first level characters get a few cool abilities, or maybe they're spread out over the first 3 levels. But after that, I would be happier if you had to go out into the world and do stuff. I would be even happier if the magic items were in the player's handbook, so the players would see them and covet them and want to do research to figure out where are these things, and then try to risk their lives for it. That would be nice. And also, it'd be nice if the game's balance assumed you would be getting magic items in the first place. Right now, it really doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And
at
that's
all.
because it's easier to balance the game if you assume there will be very few items. And WotC wants people to be able to play D&D at game stores in their organized play program. And that means fewer scenarios where a new DM volunteers for an existing game at a game store and looks at the character sheets and says, the old DM gave you what? No.
Yes. Yeah. That's
At my table, I don't really care about organized play or character portability. WotC made a game that is easy to run at a game store with an inconstant supply of DMs, but I would prefer a game optimized for the table, where magic items are more common. Going forward, I'll probably let the characters use feats. They aren't that big a deal in 5e the way they were in 3rd edition, where they were one of the defining features of your character. But now you know why, back when I started with 5e, I said no to feats. That was the video on the virtue of saying no. Folks, I hope there was something in there that made you think or empowered you to be more protective of your game's idiosyncratic weirdness. That stuff is what makes your game unique. Feel free to say no every once in a while to keep it weird. Every time we do one of these videos, we do a live stream here on YouTube.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. I want Matt to be my DM. Oh, yeah, Indigo. That'd be cool. I would be totally down with
Hang on a second, I
Koval.
gotta get some more glue.
You're good. Yeah, no, absolutely. Wow, that was such a level-headed video. Amazing. Dude, Koval's videos are really good. We've covered one of them before. Maybe more. I think we covered at least one of his videos before, and it was just as level-headed, and though we disagreed in that as well, but it didn't make us angry. Right?
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing.
That's the thing. Again, his level-headedness keeps me level-headed, right? Like, it helps because he, again, is positing these things, and whether or not he's wrong in some cases, or at least we disagree in some cases, we're able to have a discussion about it. And I don't feel like it would devolve into a shouting match, because with the guy in the first video, I think it would. I really think it would. I don't think there would be a civil conversation. Mostly because, again, he's dishonest, and I don't like that.
Yeah, that was the main thing.
That's the big thing. Yeah, that'll do it for tonight's podcast.
Yeah. Stay tuned for orcs getting et.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, are you playing orcs or are you playing Necrons?
I'm playing orcs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna end that off there. What I like about his videos is he's positive and passionate about what he's talking about. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. It really sets the video apart because of his attitude towards it. So yeah, But yeah, that's gonna be where we ended off. So thank you to everybody who tuned in. And been in the chat, been getting in and out and all that kind of shit. Really appreciate you. As well as thank you to our patrons again. Let me get the thing on the screen. Draco Kusagi, Slazer, Steely, Drake Cross, Mog Zero, Chris, Frozen Spaghetti, and Kill Chrono. Thank you so much. And for all of you out there, yeah, you have a good night. Thank you again. You can find the podcast if you're new. You can find it live on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then again as a VOD on Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then again as a audio-only version on your podcasting services of choice around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. Devils and Dice will come back on to Wednesdays when we have the time. We just haven't had good schedules for these past few weeks, so
people have been tired, which is fine.
Yes. If you are gonna hang around, we're gonna take a few minutes here to set up for Warhammer. We're gonna play a 500 point game, so hang out for that if you want to. And other than that, yeah, thanks for watching. If you're new, hey, sub or whatever, or like or whatever, or comment or whatever. And also
notice how we wait until the end of the video to ask for you to comment and sub and like.
It's true. I assume a lot of people don't get to the end, but if you did, hey, you might want to even share it with a friend and say, hey, you should watch the end and all of that shit. Please do, because it would help with our growth. I want to have the channel get up to at least 1,000 by the end of the year, because then we could do community posts and shit and have some other cool things that we can use. So, yeah. Thank you as well for the donation. I know Draco Kraken did it a while ago. And thank you if you ever feel like donating in the future, any of you out there. And if you want to join the Patreon and all that shit and get on the Discord, we hang out in there occasionally and talk with everybody occasionally. And yeah, that's about it. So
yeah,
thanks.
Thank you for your money. Bye. Bye. For the people that aren't